though. I kind of forget what happened, to be honest. Oh.
Just got a live notification, so that seems good.
Hey everybody, this is Grimcad, and we are back with some more of our 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign, The Shifting City. We're pretty much going to be jumping straight into it, as we're, well, a little bit late to start streaming. It happens. So I'm not particularly worried about it. Last time, a whole bunch happened, if I remember correctly. The most important, of course, is we wound up picking a new party member, a female kobold by the name of Tadpole, played by Devil Dog, who is unfortunately out of his seat right now, answering the door, but he'll say hi in a moment. We found out some rumors of, a couple of things going on. We got some more information about the kobold that had been wandering around to the north, causing, let's say, a ruckus. Although what he seemed to be doing wasn't extremely dangerous. He was going around bopping people on the head and stealing things from them. We found out about a rumor of some sort of dragon eggs owned by the Potter. We followed up on that, and it turns out she was rather, I'm going to say, eccentric. Because for some reason I feel as if I have to be kind to my made-up characters. We wound up sort of scamming her. Wound up taking one of the dragon's eggs for... I don't know if we actually wound up paying for that or not, or we just got it free. But either way... whether you wound up having to pay that woman for the dragon eggs, or you wound up getting it more or less for free.
I think we gave her 20 gold for it.
That sounds about right.
It was a nice hustle, I'm pretty sure, from what she originally wanted.
I was going to burn her house down, but the rats were...
That's right. There was also a deal to burn her house down in order to lead some sort of credence to the fact that one of the dragon eggs was quote-unquote stolen, even though, of course, she gave it willingly, and it was... I don't know if it was entirely her idea to burn the house down, but it was certainly partially her idea. Well, the party made its way back to the camp. Tadpole, being from the plane, took a look at it and knew what it was, more or less. The thing hatched, and it was a sort of odd larva thing that is called a Kuthrik. And if you will give me a second, I will pop that picture back onto the screen. We can all see it right there. Key points to know about this thing is that it's an insect. This is sort of its grub form. They are pretty voracious, and supposedly, if one believes the rumors, they have some sort of hive mind, like a psionic one-mind consciousness where they can supposedly see and hear what the others think. Well, luckily we went through the night without anything additional happening. No attacks by strange insects or anything like that. Although our our idea to go burn down the woman's house was pretty much denied out of hand by the rat folk. They said it ran counterintuitive to their wants at the moment. The morning has come, and we have decided to go look to the site where this woman found these quote-unquote dragon eggs, which of course we know are not dragon eggs at all. This is the spot where it is, but before, as we're picking up, is there anything else that we, or you specifically, would like to do in order to prepare before we go to this place? Everyone's eaten and all that. So one question though for Janeon, are you bringing your mule as well?
They're subterranean creatures,
They are.
in which case, no, I'll leave her with the rats.
Okay. Is there, but before I interrupted you guys with that question, is there anything anyone else wishes to do?
We're gonna stop by the city first to let them know. Maybe get, some more reading material on the matter. I was talking about a library last time, remember, and I think Devil was like, yeah, there's a small one.
Mm-hmm.
Some sort.
When they're trying to keep up the illusion they were dragging eggs.
Well, I have to tell anyone that it came from the egg. We just have to say, yeah, we found these bastards sticking through the ground. They just kind of rose up in the middle of the night. It looks like you got an infestation on your hands. Kind of thing.
So, what'll it be? Do we want to head directly to the site, or do we want to visit by the city first?
I'm good either way. Don't we have to either go through or cut around the city to get to the spot?
It's kind of...
No. It is significantly to the north. Are we on the right map? We are on the right map.
Yeah, like, we can go, we're going east anyways, but it's like 6 miles north of the city. We're taking a loop if we like a curve if we go to the city first. Otherwise, we can just go straight to that.
I reckon we could just go straight there. I mean, it's 15 miles plus another 6 or 14 miles, so it'll just take a full day otherwise, and we'll be going in closer to night.
Shall we put it up to a vote?
Yes.
All right, so who wishes to make a detour by the city? All right.
Me.
Okay. Those who wish to go directly to the site.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Tadpole is still
I'm
gone.
extremely indifferent.
You're the tiebreaker. Or shall we just roll a dice? Even odd.
Roll the dice.
Okay.
Yeah, go for a dice. This might take a while. This might take a while at 3 o'clock.
Alright, well, let's say even to the city, odd to the site.
Sounds good.
So that's even. We're going to head off to the city. Still leaving our stuff there. In the rat folk don't really have a ton to say. Again, this is still pretty early in the morning that you are up. Are you folks bringing Zoosh with you?
No, I don't think she'd come this time, actually. Not if we've been partying basically every night. She'd probably be taking as much time off her feet as possible to, try and live it up as the sole survivor and everything.
Yeah, I don't think an underground hellhole we're about to venture into is a good place at the moment.
Okay.
That's another thing, yeah. We might be heading into somewhere a bit over her head at this.
So we can pretty much decide to leave Zoosh on her own to sort of recover her night of I don't want to say exactly debauchery, but certainly of drinking.
Yeah.
So you're not... Go ahead.
I don't have...
Go ahead.
I don't have to run to people.
You're right. Well, funnily enough, I think I'm going to need somebody to run guts for a little bit, but it doesn't have to be.
Oh, yeah.
So again, the rats don't give you any additional instructions or anything like that. Pretty much Chol and a couple of humans are the only ones up anyway. What we've decided to do is we are going to stop by the city real quick, visit the library, see if we can find out any more information about these Kuthrik, and then we are going to go ahead and head to the site.
Question.
Go ahead.
The city where the tavern is that I stole all the liquor from. Right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so my question, this may be a little interesting for me then. Didn't think I was going back. Does the casks I purchased, do they have like a brand on them or some types of markings showing which tavern they would belong to?
They would not. They're from one of the biggest things in the city. It doesn't have a ton of competition because it's not a huge city, so they're just pretty much generic casks.
Okay. All right. Okay, this will be fun. I'm going to try to keep a very low profile. Other question is, what's the weather like? Is it sunny? Is it overcast? Because I need to know.
Again, the summer, the weather is particularly sunny. Man, cannot talk.
Okay.
That's pretty much a constant so far on this plane, and you would definitely know it. The weather is very temperate for the most part.
Okay. Well,
We're
probably keeping a very low profile for the duration back into the city.
It's not you that stole everything. It's those damn adventurers that did it.
Go ahead, Janeon.
Can we make Tadpole some sunglasses at some point?
Very likely.
Because I know how annoying it is to have to deal with that.
I don't know if it really got ever done, though, but Janeon is a goblin as well.
Yes,
Does goblins have light sensitivity?
No, we don't,
Okay.
thankfully. We get 60 feet night vision, but don't have the light sensitivity, because I assume you have 120 feet, but light sensitivity, right?
No, just light sensitivity and regular dark vision, not 120.
And a
okay,
minus
so-
2 to
Yeah,
strength.
so you've got
And a
full-
minus 2 to strength, yeah. So, but a plus 4 to annoyability. So it really
Yeah.
helps.
Oh, it pays out in the end.
That's right.
We're still probably about a mile and a half away from the city. But we noticed something that is particularly concerning to you, or possibly not particularly concerning. There are some rather large plumes of smoke rising from the city.
Rick,
shit.
didn't we get told not to burn the house down?
I swear I didn't know I was drinking on.
Was it me?
Can we tell, like, where from in the city the plumes come?
No, not from this far away.
I send the owl up to the sky. Can see like an overview of.
Nope.
Well, Al certainly has better eyesight than you, but you are still pretty far away. You would guess that there's a fairly sizable chunk of the city that's likely on fire.
I guess a dragon attack, that or the Kuthar just invaded. One of the two.
Taking bits. Was it the bugs or was it the wall?
I think the wall started fire. The wall started perfectly fine, actually.
Well, should be interesting
We
to
should
find
probably
out.
go see.
Yeah.
Are we walking, riding?
You are walking,
Okay.
so it does
I'm the
take
only
some
person
time.
that you will-
Does it look like the fires have been going for a while, based upon like the smoke trail and stuff like that, or is it...
Likely yes. It's not a very recent thing. Either
Okay.
it's something strange that just happens to be causing a lot of smoke, or it's a pretty significant fire. Kind of hard to tell.
Well, maybe we ought to double time it and pick up the pace a little bit.
So times like this, I wished I finished the freaking, what's it called? It's a bottle thing, water.
I have no idea.
That is extremely specific there, Adrian. How could we not guess off of that?
All right. Oh, the decanter of endless water is what I wanted to make before.
We get close to the city, and we are going to be currently using... Oh, yeah, Zeus was already up there. We'll still be using Zeus's token. As we get closer to the city, we can tell without very much problem that this fire is certainly in the area, or at least the smoke is coming from the area, that the Potter's house would be at.
She fucking did it herself, the doe who can't.
At this point, we're still whiles away from the gates, as it were. But people are... You can't see it too well close from here, but people are definitely having like a sort of bucket line or whatever coming from the river to the city.
Are there people leaving the city that we might be able to meet on the road?
People are not fleeing the city by any means. They're not really going about their business, however. They're pretty much preoccupied with taking care of this fire, which is more or less happening to the back end of the city.
Okay.
Bitch. Let's get in there, guys. We should help out.
Oh, yeah. Help. Yeah, sure.
I mean, Janeon's laughing pretty hard at the moment. He's not capable of carrying a bucket.
I am the bucket.
As the realization has come over him, he just starts laughing.
Sorry, folks. You know how goblins can be.
Oh no, I grabbed the entire map. Okay.
Oh no, the earth just shifted. The Kuthaker attack.
So we head to the front gates, correct?
Sure.
Okay. They are open at this point, although, as I mentioned before, front gates is a bit of a misnomer. It just happens to be sort of a gap in the wall, however it happens. And you're stopped by one of the guardsmen, who, when he notices you, certainly perks up. He's got an expression of worry on his face. He knows something bad is going on in the city. He knows that what he's doing is important, though, so he's fairly worried that he can't go over and help right now.
I'm gonna rush up to him and ask, "What the hell's going on? What is that? What happened?"
He stares at you for a few moments.
Do I know this guard by name?
By name, you probably wouldn't. You would certainly have recognized him by face, though. But
Okay.
I wouldn't think he'd be in your circle.
Yeah.
Generic guard 47.
Don't make me make up names.
I'll give you a name generator. It's a good
No,
one.
I have one. It's fine.
You got someone's got like historic name.
But it does
These.
stand that they wouldn't be in the circle. You know, it was someone he comes in, drinks, and so she serves.
You're saying he's
but...
beneath me. Is what you're saying. He's
Of
beneath.
course.
Of course. Okay.
Sadly, we're tiny races. No one's beneath us, technically.
But when you ask him what's going on, he gives you a very blank stare for a while. And he sort of turns, looks into the gate, and makes some very overt hand gestures, and then turns back to you. I don't exactly know what's going on in the city. Some sort of fire was apparently set last night.
Just one fire or many fires? It looks like there's more than one.
From what I gather, it's just the one. I've been more or less here for several hours, since before it started.
Wait, so
Did
it's
anyone try and run after?
Sorry, you were both talking at the same time.
Did anyone try and come out of the city after the fire had started? Did you stop them or anything?
No one came out of the front gate, but there's been reports of some action at the back.
Huh.
Action? You mean like in fighting action?
Not quite, but something like that.
Specifics, man! I kick him in the shin. Give me specifics!
He
Think.
sort of stares daggers at you. And give me a perception check. You happen to have advantage on it. Everyone else does not have advantage of it.
Now, is it based upon sight? Because if it's clear, then I have disadvantage, which means it would be normal.
That is correct.
I will remind you of these things.
You will
But
be.
if it's visual, it's at disadvantage.
It would be visual. We're going to cancel out the 2, and so you have just normal.
Okay.
Are we all rolling?
You all can roll.
Oh, sorry, 15.
Yes.
He is reaching for and fingering an amulet that is hanging from his neck, and he's doing it fairly obviously. He's not trying to hide it or anything like that.
Mate, she's just a kobold. I doubt she could push you over. We're here to help with the fire. Are we good to go in?
Yes, please, come in.
Am I able to tell, what the amulet represents, if it's religious or anything?
No, not without having it in your hands and being able to go over it. Off a cursory guess, you would suppose that it is not a religious thing, however.
Am I out of care? I'm assuming it's like an alarm amulet. If he needs help, he kind of just, says the command word, or he just pulls on it and alarm, attack at the front gate. Motherfucker's trying to call the guard on us, I'm pretty sure.
And did I see this with my roll of 15?
Yes, you did.
Okay, do I know what this amulet does?
You would... Okay, yes. You would very likely know what it is. You would know that there is a magical implement of some kind, which basically opens and closes the wall. You would not know exactly if these are amulets, because it's sort of a closely guarded thing, but you would certainly know the existence of them, and you would know that the guards do carry said magical item with them.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll go on in, and then as soon as we're out of earshot, I will inform the group. Although I don't know why he would want to close the gate.
Yeah, stop kicking people in the shin.
I can't.
Hold on.
Yes, I might have to disappear.
Time out.
Okay.
You enter the city. He shouts something, and the wall closes behind you.
Motherfucker.
He on the other side, you on the inside. There is, another guard on the inside that you can see right off the bat. There's actually another 2.
Coming for us?
Not at the moment. You are just passing through the gate, and it just closed behind you, and they are in front of you.
What? I said that out loud.
Can I ask them what they know about the fire?
They sort of cross their arms and they go, well, we've had some reports that you all have caused the fire. Now, there's a couple of ways we can do this. We would appreciate you putting down your weapons and then coming with us.
If you don't mind, sirs, I can help put out the fire really quickly. At least help deter some of it if you let me go
I
in this.
think
Watch
we've
me,
had
but-
enough help from you at the moment. Right now, I'd like for
You
you to
guys-
put down your weapons.
You guys did see us just arrive at the city, right?
We did.
Also, you can make note that we left primarily early in the evening before this probably started, looks like. And you've got a station on both sides of the gates that can open and close the gates as well, so someone would have seen us enter and come back. It's not like you can climb the wall without it killing you.
Are we having a conversation right now, or are you doing what we're telling you to do?
Well, we can have it as a conversation. That would probably be preferable.
He sort of blinks his eyes quickly. That was rhetorical. Put down your weapons and come with us.
Okay, what other people are in the streets? That can see
There
it?
are not a ton of people in the streets right now. Really, it's just these two people. Most everybody else, presumably, is busy on the other side of the city putting out the fire. You'd know it's sort of a, all community, it's everyone's job to handle fire.
Okay, I'm gonna try a persuasion check real quick. This might... nope, I can't.
Fucking knew it!
I just opened my mouth and I just start coughing.
Yeah, and now they're in a bad mood. They are equipped with mail, spears, and a shield, and the spears are leveled at you. Excuse me.
But we're supposed to
Are
not
we
make
going with them?
we're not supposed to, make a scene or anything. We'll go with them.
Yeah, that's this would be really bad if we got in a fight with the guards. The rats wouldn't like it. Let's put our weapons down. Let's go with them. But I'm making sure that I don't put down my fan or my jar of honey.
Yeah, I'll give him my dagger, my crossbow, and my big staff.
Yeah, I'll give him my short sword, but I'm holding on to my broom.
All right. So they don't seem to go about searching you or anything like that. If you give them your obvious weapons, anything you might have in a scabbard or anything like that up in the front, they take it. But again, they don't pat you down or do anything like that. They take all their weapons, take all your weapons, and basically put them in a large sort of leather sack that they both happen to be carrying.
So who claims that they saw us setting this fire? They must have excellent eyesight, seeing us shoot the fire arrows from 5 miles away. But who claims to have said that we did this?
It was Toll, I believe. He said he saw you. You would know that Toll is one of the adventurers that was hired by the mayor that had been frequenting your tavern for some time.
Oh,
Knew we gotta kill those motherfuckers.
of course it was Toll. They wanted to steal Mrs. Powder's eggs. They probably pissed off. We went to visit her.
There's
before they
probably
could
one of her
get
eggs
them.
missing too, and that's blamed on us as well.
Well, no, I saw Toll setting the fire.
Well, look, we can hammer all these details out in a few moments. Once we bring you to Eckert. You would know that Eckert happens to be the sheriff.
Do I have a decent relationship with this sheriff, or non-relationship, or a poor relationship?
Well, now, this is a question that I have for you. You have a level in rogue. You've been living in the tavern. What's your propensity for having to steal small items and whatnot? Is it a thing that you do, or is it a thing that you don't do? And again, this is one of your questions relating to your background.
15 bottles of small things. I think there's a lot.
I would probably venture to say that if it's a supremely easy mark, I would probably go for it. But for the most part, I would be very, very, very cautious because I do think that kobolds are a noble race, and I don't want to soil their reputation any more than they are. And I would also think I'd probably schmooze the right people when they come in as much as possible.
Sure. You probably don't have the best reputation, but you certainly aren't the most hated person in the place. You know? Small things have a habit of going missing around you, perhaps, but it's never been such a huge issue that anyone thinks they need to do something about.
Small petty stuff, not killing somebody or anything like that. That's
right.
What they're... Okay, yeah. All right, making sure.
So they take you over to the jail, which is going to be a building which I am marking right now as soon as I remember what button does it. We're going to mark this one with a blue X. It is relatively close to where you are. Ah!
It's there.
I grabbed the entire map again when I went to grab
Oh no, it's a Kuthwick.
I need to change this to the map layer. That'll stop that. Let me make sure this map is dark before I move you onto it. Okay.
I would also venture to say that it probably, because of my servant background, I like to collect information. If I have anything salacious on the sheriff, I'd like to maybe know about it, like maybe certain visits to ladies of the night, things like that. Eating in cards.
Certainly does have a propensity to drink to the point of excess and passing out, and he tends to be a overly friendly drunk, but it's not so bad. But he's the kind of person to, when he gets drunk, lend you way too much money and then forget about it later on. He would not be, as you would typically describe, a bad person.
Okay.
What about
Does he
opposite?
ever drink to the point where he blacks out?
He does.
Oh, good. I can use that.
Is he viable?
Is he what? I'm sorry?
Viable.
Viable?
Bribable.
Bribable.
Yep. I said viable, but yeah, bribable.
Sorry. Maybe? I mean, everybody's got
Maybe?
their price.
Yeah, that's a point. Especially with a 20 roll on persuasion.
That's right. So they bring you in, and you can move your tokens onto the map around here.
What's the race of the sheriff?
Human. Most people are human.
Okay.
Certainly in the town. And I will bring Guts over. This is a free map, so it's not a grid system, but it does have the grids tiles on. Because obviously it is not one I made myself. Can't bring yourself over?
No, it's not letting me.
There we go.
Is your token set to something weird or broken, maybe? Was that racial agreement's default token, so all of us they could have broken with that.
You know, I might not have made a token for... you do not have a default token here. There, now you should be able to...
Drag.
Yes, and
In the
move.
in the bio and info area tab, right? Dragging that icon. I'm not.
You have to drag from the name. It's very weird, and it took me a long time to figure that out. But you can't drag from like the little menu thing. You have to drag from the name itself.
Drag from the name.
Actually, under the tab where it says your character's name and it's got a little picture, you got to drag your name over onto the map.
Okay, well, I see that the name of my character, Tadpole, and below that there's 3 tabs. There's bio, info, character sheet, and so in the
Okay.
bio,
Go to the list where everything's listed, like you see the handouts and your actual token and stuff.
there,
Drag
not
your
the character sheet.
Correct.
Yeah.
So not the
your
character
journal.
sheet.
Got it. Okay. So let me do that here.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. You
And then you
would
can just
not have
drag.
much of a... Man, Rick is not showing up either.
He's there, but his name
His
tag's
name,
not.
yeah. Here, I'm going to fix that right while I'm thinking about it. Because I have a habit of not fixing it, and then getting angry at it when I didn't fix it. Which is probably silly. There we go. So they bring you in, and there's sort of a huge locking mechanism in the very front. You know, there's a large gate, a wooden door, and then there's another large gate, wooden door. You get in and lock both of the gates with separate keys. One guard takes one key, one guard takes the other key. Right, so what we're going to be doing for right now is we're going to herd you into the cell. Obviously.
Oh, wait. Let's talk about this first. Why are we being locked in the cell?
Well, you're being accused of starting a fire in the main city.
And I'm accusing the other guy of starting a fire. Where's he?
Yeah,
Right.
So was it?
And I know, where's this wonderful sheriff of yours? Is he here? Is he in the room?
Likely he's out fighting the fire.
Well, that's what we should be doing too, then.
Why
It's our
should that
fault.
be a thing that you're doing?
If it's
You
our fault,
started
we
it.
just fix it. If it's supposedly our fault, we should
We
just fix it.
supposedly started.
Supposedly started it. Look, you're here. Into the cells. Elia will come. He'll talk to you for a while. He's still here for a bit. You would know that Elia happens to be the head jailer and typically deals with all the prisoners.
Do I have any dirt on Elia?
Elia is not a great person, but he is mostly free. He has a penchant for cruelty to animals, you would know, however.
Great.
Where did our weapons get chucked?
Right now they are still on this guard right here.
He must be having a tough time.
Yeah, he's got a lot of weapons, because I know Rick carries like 12 spears himself.
2 blades.
10 spears, 2 glaives, and a big.
He's having a tough time, then, yeah. He's more sort of dragging it at the moment.
So does this guy have any evidence? I mean, we were outside of town. He was in town.
From
What
what
about
I
you?
understand, you were spotted leaving out the back gate, and then coming back in this morning from the front gate. Rather stupid thing, I might add, but, well, I hear that people like to
Well,
visit the
exactly.
scene of
Who
their
says
crimes.
that? Who says that? Because we left during the front gate the early evening last night.
In the middle of the
I have
night,
an
you
idea.
left during the back gate.
I have an idea.
Right?
And I hold up my medallion.
That's a
And
nice idea.
One of you guards could use this, and then you'd know that we're not lying.
We're not using any of your poison stuff. Into the cells.
I activate one of my charges and direct it at that guard. And what's he thinking about? Like, since I'm directing it purposefully at him.
Surface thoughts, he's getting pretty angry that you're not listening to him and getting into the cells. He doesn't seem to be trying to con you or anything else. He's a bit worried because there are 5 of you and 2 of them, so he wants to try to get you where you can not brutally murder him.
Don't worry, even though there's 5 of us and only 2 of you, we're not going to brutally murder you.
His
Does
eyes
this
go
seem like poison?
really wide. Get out of my head, witch!
Does this seem like poison? Now, do you want to clear us or not, or we can keep going around in circles? You're obviously worried enough to not want to make the first move negatively. We can solve this with no issues right now, or we can have a few more issues.
We're just here to spend coin. Unlike those adventurers who, as far as I'm concerned, have been wasting the money they've been giving to solve your problems.
Ah,
This one yells over to this one. John, throw the stuff in the pit. We can sort out later. And he comes here and he drops the sack of weapons into this right here, which, unlike a well, which it appears like, is actually, well, more of a dried well, where it looks like, it's a pit that goes down about 20 feet or so. He tosses the sack of your weapons down in there.
Now listen, you have our weapons. We can't do much harm without them. Let us help with the fight.
Into the cells! Last time!
Does it take about 20 feet of falling for them to make a noise?
Yeah, it's a pretty good
Okay,
guess.
I want to try this persuasion check. Listen, we're outsiders. We're not from here. We have no point in burning down anything in this
They
town.
are
We
not
merchants.
listening at all. It's been several times. They've been commanding you a bunch.
Okay, then I'm just going to make it rain inside. This is why we should be helping the fire, asshole. And
Do it
it's
as
just
you-
raining.
Do it as you're walking into the cell, so it's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
clean it up, motherfucker.
And now it's just raining now inside a little bit.
Who else from our weapons float to the top?
So there's 2 guards and the sheriff?
No.
There is a jailer supposedly somewhere on the premise. He has not come yet, even though there's been sort of a shouting match going on. So, as you go to cast your spell, it looks like this guy has had enough. He raises his weapon. The butt of it, however, he's not spearing you, and attempts to give you a good thwacking about the head. So I do not actually have a macro rolled up for them, so it is d20 plus 4. And it will be a d6 worth of damage,
Okay, I make it rain still.
which is 2. And so you have been thwacked on the head.
I make him very soaked. He's now soaking wet.
He grabs you and attempts to manhandle you into this cell.
Is he wet?
He's very wet.
It's like, boy, I wish I could direct that at the large looming fire in the city, but someone here is being a child.
At this point, Janeon just kind of starts laughing or giggling again and just kind of
Man, if only someone who could
Rick.
into the cell, but stands a bit closer to the door.
If only someone that had magic water rain that could, extinguish fires on contact were in the city to help with this fire.
If only said person wasn't accused of starting the fire in the first place.
Accused by another outsider who's done nothing but lays around and cause
So the
shit while we've been
conversation
spending-
aside, are you resisting him as he is manhandling you into the cells?
No, but we're making him a skeleton later out of character.
Okay. So he goes, he unlocks it, and he shoves you in. None too gently, but not enough to take damage. At about this time, a person comes down from the stairs. Human by the looks of it. You would know it would be Elia. Or Elia. For some reason I have a hard time with that name, even though I chose it. What's going on here? What the hell?
Hi there, I can make water that puts out fire almost instantly. How are you doing?
And
Shameless.
just
Why
because
are
we're
you-
accused of
why
starting
is
the
it
fire,
raining
we're
in
not allowed
my
to put out the fire before. We're not allowed to
prison?
put out the fire before we get thrown into prison. So that's why it's raining in your.
If only it could have been used on the blazing fire outside and not soaking this man's trousers.
I thought he hid
Even if
himself.
No.
we had started the fire, we have magic rain and could have stopped the fire, and we're willing to stop the fire.
Mind you, we've only been accused by an outsider who's done nothing but woke up in bad reputation. We've only been here a day, spent probably 100 gold at least the last day or two, and then left on good terms. But we came back for some reason and started a fire. Makes perfect
Came
sense.
back. We wanted to spend more.
He's got sort of a speechless look on his face. You may be very familiar to the speechless look on your face due to your association with Hambone. It's pretty much the same speechless look on his face. He has
We
no...
have a bag still. They just took a
Yes,
weapon.
we can still do it. Yes.
I'm sorry? You have your
Out of character. We have a bag still.
bag of what? I'm lost.
Out of character.
Just
We
our
have
backpacks.
inventory. We have the Kuthrik with us.
No, that was actually eaten by Tadpole.
No, she ate everything but the head. There's a specific statement last week to eat the body but keep the head so we can throw it
Yeah.
at people.
I do remember the head being kept.
Alright, well, fair enough. Yeah, I suppose she does still have it on her, I guess. That would be a thing she would be bringing with her.
Okay. Would you mind if I grabbed the head? And just because I like to have heads, I'm just going to throw the head on the floor, too. If I can do that.
Well, now, hold on. There's an assumption right there. Tadpole has it right now.
Yeah.
You're in jail. In a cell.
Fair enough, but I was going to put that extra proof, but hey, we'll get to that later. But yeah, we only came back to spend gold, warning you of the insect infestation you have in your goddamn forest.
He steps up to the cell. Cancel the rain.
It should have dissipated by now, I think.
Yeah, sure. Really, it's only 10 gallons
6
or so.
seconds.
But yeah. It's certainly not as entertaining that way. Right. I'm not talking to anyone at the moment until you're all in your cells. If you don't mind.
Sure.
He seems to notice you for the first time, Tadpole. And he sort of shakes his head and clucks disapprovingly.
This is not my MO. This is not my style. Why would I do something like this?
Into the cage. I couldn't think of the word cage. So what they do is they separate you up. Again, this is if you are unresisting. It would be about 2 and 3. So, are we all ready to stop
what kind
being...
of a lock is it?
It's
pretty
like a
decent.
It's got man guts over. For the
this
giggle
is-
factor, let's have the two midgets in the same cell.
Okay.
Guts fuck.
The lock is decent, but it's not, anything extraordinary. This is more of a holding cell. This isn't the actual prison part of it.
Okay.
It seems like this is pretty common for processing and all that. You know that there's not a huge amount of people on the city guard. All right. So, what exactly is going on here? You understand what happened last night with the fire, and then Toll saying that it was the other group that came into the inn. Said they set the fire. Of course, oh god, I forgot her name.
Potter?
Atal confirmed it, saying there was a fire set that got out of hand. Her dragon eggs were stolen. They came back this morning in through the gates, pretty as you please, just a little while ago. We closed up the gate behind them, and here we are.
Yep. We totally set a fire after we gave someone a substantial amount of gold to buy one of their eggs, and spent like, I don't know, 50 gold in the tavern yesterday alone. We totally want to ruin trade with a city we want to trade with by setting a random fire.
Because that's good mercantile.
Oh, totally.
That's not really my purview at the moment.
If I may interject.
You've been doing nothing but interjecting. I think it's time for you to stay silent for a while.
Sure. Well, the more we in here, the more the fire rages when, rain.
We're somewhat of the order of 30 feet from a river. I'm sure the fire will be under control fairly soon. And luckily, the other adventurers happen to be working on putting it out, too.
Yes, luckily the fire starters are putting it out.
Convenient.
So I'm just gonna start talking loudly to Adrian, just so loud enough that he can hear. So I'm not interjecting, but I'm just gonna loudly say to Adrian. So how many of the villagers do you think will get killed by the bug infestation before they realize the river's not safe?
I don't know, man. The crews look pretty nasty. They're freaking large, those piercing, stabbing mandibles and stuff like that. It's freaking creepy.
Right.
While everyone else is talking, I quickly whispered to Tadpole and ask, Tadpole, do you have lockpick gear?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure in case we need to cut out quickly.
I wink.
Got it.
And let the good distraction continue.
It's such a shame that no one knows all of the rivers infested with, eggs of vile and, rapidly devouring insect species. It's a horrible thing, Mufasa. I mean, if only someone would come back to warn them after they got attacked in the middle of the night by these insects, But apparently there's a fire that was all fault. It was a shame.
Look, just think about it. These eggs of these subterranean creatures were found on top of the ground. Obviously, their hive is way too large to even consider.
Oh, not it's horrifying, but I feel like someone came in the morning to warn them before they were accused of arson.
Hey, is this window here? Is that a window there?
That is a door. Excuse me.
Are there any windows that are open?
Door. There are not. There are windows in the cells proper on the backside, you would know, but not in these holding cells.
Okay.
Right.
That's a door there, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can I want to try something here. I want to use my shadow arts, which allows me to cast illusion, minor illusion. I want to mimic the sheriff's voice and try to make it sound like it's coming from the other side of this door.
Okay.
Saying, Pole set the fire. Quick, find Pole. I'm running after him now. And have the voice fade out.
in before that
okay.
door goes.
Before you do that, let me stop you.
Sure.
Because by the layout of the place, there's no exit to that room. This happens to be another room in the place, but not one that there would be an
Just make it
entrance
sound in from
and
the front
exit
door if you
to.
can.
Okay.
Like, are these just
Well,
cell doors?
I'm sorry?
Like, are they, or, like, these are like gates. These aren't like doors, are they?
Those are like gates, you know. They're big, heavy. They're locking gates.
No, so just have him come from over there. That makes, he's just peeping his head in. And
The
running
first
back
one
out.
does have a door, however. The first one is a door-gate combo.
Okay.
Right. I'm going to find Eckert. I don't know what's going on. Let them stew for a while. If they keep on with this incessant noise, just move them to individual cells. All right. And he takes his own set of keys, unlocks, goes out, unlocks, goes out, relocks, all that sort of junk. He goes, right. Be good, you lot. You've done nothing but argue and whatnot in the last 5 minutes that you've been here. Of course you're going to say you're not guilty. We've seen it before.
Run up to the gate real quick. I'm gonna stare at him. I'm gonna drop all emotion in my face. Just deadpan him. If you think these crabby little shitty bar cells can hold any of us, and that we didn't come with you willingly due to the fact we've been told you to play nice and to try to trade with your shitty city, then you have another thing coming if you think any of these can actually hold us. You should be very, very, very thankful that we're being so nice today.
Roll intimidation.
I suppose that gets a little advantage.
No.
Can I help? Can I give him an advantage?
15.
You can
Yeah, can I just be like looming over?
Okay, so again, this is the one that butted you with the spear before, and he would butt you with the spear again.
I tried to. I won't grab it, but yeah, she'll keep butting me. I'll just look at him. Yeah, keep poking the.
That would be a 14 to hit.
Sure, I'll let him hit me for now. I don't care. Keep poking the stirring dog on the chain. See what happens.
Just
later.
shut up! Right.
So can you
Just
can you hit
playing
me with
country
that stick?
roads.
I want to see how hard you can.
About after this sort of altercation happens, this one right here attaches a rope. It looks more like a rope ladder or something to a point that is right here, and I will mark again with my blood red. It throws it into the sort of dried well and then climbs down for whatever reason. This one right here moves about to this position and just does his best to tune out everything that's going on.
So there's only one up in this room with us at the moment.
At the moment, yes.
I can't remember Guts' spell list. Do they have?
Give me one moment. I can
They do have pipes of haunting.
give some.
Yeah, I don't want anything that might raise the alarm. If we can just make them conk out, that'd be better. But at the same time, I'm not going to ask to use. Oh, if you have sleep, that'd be.
For the moment, I'm going to give all players access to guts.
I'm saying I've been playing night. That intimidation was, I could literally just teleport outside of these gates and walk away if I wanted to.
God damn it. Guts' fucking player shit is nice as fuck.
Well, yeah.
Well, how does yours look like?
Everyone keeps moving everything, though.
Yeah, well, let's see. Minor illusion she could probably do something with. Blindness, deafness, phantasmal fort. heat metal. You know, there's
Shoot
plenty of
flaming.
lethal ways you could take to do something, but
But it's also, she did say she'll probably be joining the game at some point, so I don't want to use up any of her slots, any of
sure.
her spell slots. Like, cantrips I'd be okay with using, so Minor Illusion and Vicious Mockery, sure, but yeah, slots I'd rather save for her.
I would
Understandable.
like to make a blacksmith tools intelligence check on the craftsmanship of these cages, if you don't mind. Is that another thing they could do?
Sure.
Well, do whole pouch the kid would be in, where's the weak point kind of thing?
They're fairly sturdy. I mean, they're iron. It doesn't look like many people have tried to break out before. The lock looks fairly solid. The bars themselves look fairly solid. If you were to exert some inhuman strength against it, yeah, maybe you could break it. But chances are you're not, forcing these things open, even if you're, taking running jumps at them.
$10, you could just bend the bars like.
I'd like to. I'm gonna loudly tell the group. I know the sheriff. He's overall he's a pretty nice and fair man. So maybe we should just wait for the sheriff, and he should see reason. So
Well, hopefully someone will.
Yeah,
I
so
glare at the guy in the corner.
let's
The
leave
only
these
reason
poor
I
fools
don't
alone.
like it- The only reason I'm not liking waiting is because the more we wait here, the more people could die to whatever those insect creatures are.
Not to mention the fight getting out of hand.
I just don't like being in a cave.
You hear some noises coming from the well. It sounds like the guard that went down is playing with your weapons. Like, there's the sounds of metal on metal type deal going on. It doesn't really sound like a fight. There's no shouting, there's no grunting or anything with it. But it sounds like he thought your stuff was cool. He decided to play around with it for a little bit.
I'm gonna shout down after him. One of those blades paralyzes you. Don't fucking cut yourself.
Be really
Am I-
careful with all of those. You don't know what you might do to you.
I mean, I know I can't, but can I activate my banishing boomerang from this far away? I just want to sit in him for a little bit.
I'm afraid not. So, what are we going to do right now? We're in custody?
Wait for the sheriff. Yeah, I'm gonna sit and wait for the sheriff.
We've been told to play nice, and playing nice means waiting for the sheriff.
For the sake of the rat folk, we'll have to play nice, or else we risk our contract with them.
Okay, I don't mean to be pinging every time, you guys know that. So after about quite a while, actually, an hour and a half go by, and eventually the two come in. The other guard actually comes up at some point during this time and is sort of stoically waiting along as well. I'm going to shift
I just look at him and say, "They were nice weapons, right?"
He sort of grins at you but doesn't say anything. All right. What in the blazes is going on?
Are you asking us? Are you asking him? Or
I just walked into the room and spoke in a loud voice, what in the blazes is going on? I just
We're
want to
being
know what's
falsely
going on.
accused.
I'm getting bored. We've been here for a while, still waiting for someone to come ask us,
if you want our
why
side
we're
of the
getting
story,
accused of starting a fire or anything like that.
if you want our side of the story, we came to town yesterday, walked inside, bought a few gallons of, well, several hundred gallons of ale, probably from the tavern, 50 gold. Went to Mrs. Powder, helped finance her wonderful idea. She has this beautiful idea of opening an antiquities shop, and I just support the old year so much. I love antiquities. I invested in her shop. I bought one of the eggs off of her. And then we left. We hired them that Cola over there as a little maid. She aims to clean a lot. And we came back this morning because during the middle of the night, um, our camp was had a little invader of some Kuthrik. If you're familiar with what those are, ravenous, hive-minded insects. It's just a few small ones that showed up, but kind of a big deal since they may or may not be nesting upstream from y'all. And we come, trying to, you had an infestation upstream is what we came to tell the mayor or somebody. And then these bastards closed the
You've
magic
seen
fucking
this
skeleton gang.
infestation?
You know the eggs that Mrs. Potter has?
Mm-hmm.
They're not dragon eggs. They're Kuthrik eggs. The one we took from her was about to hatch. That's why we bought it off of her. That, and I actually do support her dream of opening an antiquity shop. It sounds like a nice thing to retire to.
He sort of looks thoughtful.
Now, mind you, we're strangers. We've been here a day. We've spent probably 100 gold in your city, and we've come back to probably buy some more and tell you about the Kuthrik. Why would we sneak back to start a fire as opposed to the adventurers that the mayor hired, who he's very disgruntled with because all they've been doing is wasting their pay, drinking, and fucking around town?
Well, I had a little chat with Atel. She's not a smart woman.
Bless
But-
her heart.
She's honest when you
Oh, we
put the
know
screws
that.
to her. She told me that she had a deal with you for you to come back in the middle of the night and set fire to her place.
And I
Looks
tell you,
like
we
you
need to
did.
use-
And
we
it
can
looks
use
like
the-
things got a little bit out of hand.
So I have magic that can put out fires. Nothing would have gone out of hand, but we're not as, what's the word I'm looking for, as imaginative as she is. We were just taking the golden, we're giving her the golden, leaving. And now we hear tell of Toll accusing us of starting this. At first when we saw the smoke, we thought, that crazy old bat, she did it herself, oh god, why, we have to help. But now we're thinking of the adventurers we heard talking so enthusiastically, of which you can verify with the kobold over there, who, she's no friend of us. We just recently hired her. I'm sure she'll tell the truth. That's all she heard them talking about last night or so as she served them. And again, apologies for the wetness in here. I can summon fire extinguishing magic water. I was trying to help the fire, but your wonderful guards here do a wonderful
This guard
job, and
picks up at about that point. I wouldn't listen to him. He also threatened to kill me at the end of it.
that was
Had to
done
give him a
kill
couple
you.
of butts from the spear,
And
just
that
to
is
shut him up.
a
And that
gross
even barely did
treachery.
it.
I told you that you should be thankful we're being so nice. We've been under strict orders with our caravan to not cause any trouble. If we wanted to, we could have easily have either made trouble at any point along the way besides our arguments. The man over there took all of the weapons. We were heavily armed. Probably
The
as
same
much or
reason-
more so than those adventurers you hired.
May I ask, Sheriff, the entrances to the city are guarded 24/7. Is that not correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ask your guards if they saw us return anytime during the night?
We did.
And?
The story was corroborated.
What?
It-
Something's amiss. Somebody is paying somebody off.
He sort of sits down on his haunches so he's sort of eye level with you. This isn't like you.
I agree it's not.
What
because it's not
happened?
me. We are being set up.
I think this is some over
You know,
stupid
I'd be much
fools
more
thinking they
inclined
can-
to believe you had not a bunch of alcohol go missing at about the same time you went missing from the tavern.
What?
What are these people done
I went
to
and delivered.
you?
I went and delivered the alcohol like I was told to do.
And then we hired her on as a maid as she just started cleaning her camp voraciously.
So, are you telling me that we paid for 10 kegs of alcohol and now we're getting accused of stealing said 10 kegs of alcohol.
You're not getting accused of stealing 10 kegs of alcohol. You're getting accused of stealing 10 casks of spirits. I don't remember the exact number, but, thereabouts.
If I may just interject, where would we buy and pay in cash 10 kegs of alcohol, and then at some point steal 10 small caskets of what spirits you said? That doesn't make any sense if we have the money to buy it, which we do.
Sort of stands up and goes,
I
don't seek to know the criminal mind, to be honest with you. People do things for lots of reasons.
And we are being very generous with you. Let that be known.
Sheriff, if you take me back to the inn or the tavern, I can prove my innocence. I'm sure of it. I've known you a long time. And I whisper to him, I've had to clean up your messes after you've blacked out many times. So, Mayor, perhaps you should, let us give a chance to clear our names. Because we don't want some of this information getting out about you, do we?
Purses his lips and folds his arms. No, we don't. You can clear all your names?
Oh, well, absolutely. Well, me and with the help of these other individuals.
And you need to be left out of your cells to do this.
Kind of hard to do so if not.
You guys have it locked down, though.
He thinks for a while. He goes, all right, but you're not going out dressed for war. I'm going to need you to strip and put on some of the prison uniforms.
Is that really necessary? Why would that be necessary? You've got our weapons.
You, I can trust not to do anything. That one has apparently threatened my guard once, threatened all of us once, and apparently shows no signs of stopping.
We can take our armor off, but we don't need to wear your ratty clothes. Our clothes are just clothes.
They're not ratty.
They're not as fine as our clothes either, and your guards are already gone, dented up our swords and everything, playing around like a child down in the...
He sort of glances at him, and the one guard gives a sheepish look in sort of a shrug, but just stays staring ahead. Fine, take the armor off. Leave your clothes.
I did because I assumed Guts would like to be able to just not have to say to the world, hi, spooky, scary skeleton here. So
I'm a trustworthy skeleton.
I think we can assume that Guts does her best not to remove her armor in such a way that will show what.
It takes a while, but she does, presumably.
Do they notice if I keep my gloves on to hide the fact of my bracer for my shield?
Being a bracer, they would want you to take it off as well. Excuse me.
Damn it. So my spring shield's gone too.
Yeah. So here's the question. Does everyone strip off their armor, or does anyone not want to? They will not force you to do, but at the same time, they will not release you with them.
Well, I have no armor to strip.
So I guess that's a question for Rick. Rick, do you strip down to your clothes skivvies?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'll take mine.
I'll help Rick out. I'll make a exaggerated point to show off his rib leg muscles.
Well, there goes 5 ace
Just flexing all over the.
Just flexing. All right, so he goes and he unlocks the door, and he goes, right. This isn't something we normally do. You should know that. This is a favor for you. And he nods towards you, Tadpole.
It's appreciated.
So, where are we going to?
Well, let's go back to the tavern. Or to the, actually, probably to the fire. That's probably where you're going to find the witnesses you're looking for.
Let's go deal with the fire first.
The
and
fire's
I
out.
think we need to talk to these other adventurers.
How far away are we
Have
from
we
the
had
tavern?
a chance?
Pretty close. If we
The other adventurers aren't
take a look
around.
here, we are here. The tavern is here.
Yeah, where
Okay.
have the other adventurers gone? I mean, they're happy to accuse us, but won't come stand in front of us.
And for that matter, how does the legal system work? You accuse them back? Where is your trial?
Generally, trials don't happen the same day as...
Well, if we can all stand in the same room, I've still got one charge left on this, holding up my amulet.
Yeah,
If
he's got a...
you're not as superstitious as the child over there, then maybe you'll clear our names by using this.
Not a
Okay.
child.
He's got a thought-reading medallion that you can use to, read our thoughts and probe our minds. And in which case you did, we'd allow it and you'd be able to see quite poignantly that, we didn't start the fire.
He takes it. This might be useful. All right. We'll head to the tavern.
Okay, so the moment we walk out the door, I'm going to hold a rather loud conversation with the sheriff about absolutely anything you want to. But in Thieves' Cant, I'm going to be saying 20 gold for someone to accuse Pole of setting the fire. 20 gold to give us an alibi. 20 gold to accuse Pole, saying they've seen Pole start the fire. 20 gold for an alibi for us.
You're
And I'm doing
basically
that the whole time.
saying this to anyone who might be around
Anyone
you?
that recognizes Thieves' Cant.
Okay.
I'm talking to the sheriff about any number of things that we want to talk about. The weather, the fire, whatever. But in Thieves'
Think
Cant,
about Thieves' Cant.
I'm saying anybody that can give me 20 golds for anybody that can give us a story to get us out of here.
Okay.
Pole set the fire. They saw Pole set the fire. Any number of things like that.
And you're pretty much constant.
Straight up, I reckon. Just out of character, straight up, I reckon we just need Toll in the same room as us and get that medallion used. It's got one charge left.
So, anyways, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to bring somebody out of the woodwork. And if the closer we get to the inn, the higher the amount I'm going to start paying.
Okay. There
Anybody
would
bite?
not be a ton of people out where you are exactly, because you're coming from, the opposite side of the city where things happened. But as you're getting closer down to the city streets and closer to the tavern itself, it looks like you have several biters and people saying back to you using Thieves' Cant and saying, yeah, no problems.
Okay. Make it convincing. I'll throw in a bonus.
You make your way back to the tavern. Whoops, that's not right. And it is significantly more packed than usual. The fire has been dealt with, from what you understand, from talking with Eckert. So people are now patting themselves on the back. It's a job well done. Free alcohol for everybody for a little bit. Let's come on. Let's forget all about this. Let's get it behind us. That kind of jazz.
Free alcohol. Those adventurers are still sitting at that same spot as last time, right?
They are still sitting at the same spot. They are much more crowded. It seems like they were doing a lot to put out the fire. Dang it, that didn't work again. And so now they're basically surrounded by a crowd, patting them on the back, saying, "Good job, thank you. We don't know what we would have done without you," that kind of jazz. And in you all walk. Hey, and this time it worked.
Yay.
Eckert comes over to Peter, whom you happen to know is the owner of the bar. Alas, and John Campbell. "We need to talk. In the back room." "Well, I was getting ready to open it, but it's not quite ready." "Doesn't matter. Let's go. We need to talk with some of them, too. There's some accusations flying that may or may not have some credence to them." And so we get a glimpse of the back room. When you walk in, give me a perception check, if you would,
Betsy
please.
Beast.
19 and 23.
You notice that the adventurers are looking particularly shifty and worried. And of course, we all can't sort of crowd around, so let's crowd around this bar instead. Because I have OCD issues like that.
Quick, move your tokens slightly out of focus.
Please no.
Quick, don't snap to grid. Don't snap to.
Oh gosh.
Okay, shoot. My painter bid is here. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Okay. I'm going to take the opportunity
Stand behind
to
the other adventurers.
use the restroom real quick and fill up my drink. So I will be right back.
Yeah, I reckon we just need that medallion used.
Quick, while the DM's not looking, let's gank the adventure.
So what options do we still have with none of our gear if things go bad?
I can probably put all the
Yeah.
birds to sleep.
They took all the obvious gear. I've still got a club in my backpack. I still have
Honestly,
a fan of wind and a charge of bees.
What were you saying, Adrian?
honestly, we can probably just steal weapons from the adventurers if we need to.
Oh yeah, but I'm thinking if we have to fight the adventurers or anything like that.
I'm sure they're pushovers.
Either that or they could be like our level, just 3 of them. Now that would be a plot twist, wouldn't it? A fighter, a rogue, and a cleric.
So we're gonna just sort of chill around for a couple of minutes to give him an opportunity to come back, because he's sort of wound up becoming slightly pivotal to this part.
Yes, no, that's fine.
Who knew?
In the meantime, what kind of gear do these other adventurers have? Like, would we be able to guess their classes?
One moment.
And then I guess Adrian could do Arcana checks to see if they've got magic gear, because I suppose everyone's at this moment would be settling down and getting seated for this discussion and everything, so we'd have time to actually look over each other properly.
Would they have let us take our bags with us to the bar, or would those have had to come off with the army?
Like backpack bags?
Yeah.
Chances are they would have been left there at the place. I know I didn't specifically say anything about it, but yeah.
That logically they would have been.
Yeah.
Pouches and stuff like that might have been different since we got to keep our clothes, but that just means Adrian and Guts have their flutes and their components and stuff like that.
My base focus, besides the wand and stick, I kept the wand that note. I'm assuming they noticed a stick shoved up my sleeve or whatever, or in my boots. I'm pretty sure my default focus is the my default focus is the amulet. Actually, one.
Hold on, I'm just changing one or two things right quick. Because frankly, I didn't expect this to happen quite as early. Alright, we're still gonna just sit around for a second. It looks like Toll is wearing some sort of chainmail. He happens to be armed with a longsword. He's got a shield strapped to his back. He's got a couple of hand axes on him. He's not particularly decked out past that. You know, their clothes they're wearing are decent, but they're certainly not the greatest. Orion has the look of a caster about him. He's wearing light armor. He's got a quarterstaff with him. He's got a short bow strapped to him. And I named this guy the wrong person. But where did I bring it up twice? Oh, yes, I just brought it up twice. And Silly has the look of a fighter about her. Again, chainmail, longsword, that kind of deal.
It's a pretty stock standard, really.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're lucky we had all our weapons taken off of us.
We didn't have our weapons taken off of us. We gave our weapon.
Point.
I feel like there's a difference. It might be subtle, but there's certainly a difference.
Well, at no point have the guards outnumbered us.
That's true.
I mean, with Rick and Adrian, I'm pretty sure we don't even need weapons for 2-3.
Well, you know, one never knows.
Yeah,
because all the rest of the guards will show up.
Eckhart
Well,
might
there's not
be
that
a
many.
Tarrasque with wizard levels transmuting himself.
Level 20 chance.
Oh no, somebody said something to us probably hours ago, and of course I don't have a thing popped up.
Oh, did they?
What did they say?
They said hello there.
Is it Steinert?
Huh? It is Mega Flare Mike. Shout out to Mega Flare Mike. I think we're gonna go ahead and pick up, and DD will just join in when he joins in. So Eckert happens to gather everyone around, waves people. Excuse me, one moment. Sorry about that.
Look at that.
Hello? Hello? Oh. It was nobody. Well, that's not the phone call I'm looking for.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Fair enough. So, yeah, Eckert sort of gathers everyone around. For whatever reason, everyone else seems to be fairly relaxed about it. Of course, not the three people. I know you kind of want to get around behind everybody and everything like that, but Eckert would want you to all sort of stay in a group at the moment. And he and the guards would be fairly insistent about it. So, Rick, I'm going to ask you to move to the rest of the group, Janeon as well. At the moment, you're sort of standing by the bar as if you're, standing in front of the teacher, or as it were.
I thought we were all gathering around.
Pretty much everybody else is, but not you, Five.
Just because we're prisoners.
I couldn't hear any of that from either of you. You guys were...
I'm nonchalantly leaning on the table, just
Sure.
looking about as relaxed as everyone else, save the three adventurers.
Right. We're going to go ahead and start. There's been some serious accusations this day. Jan, you heard the first one. Toll said he saw the group of people we have to our right start the fire in the middle of the night. They passed through the gates nonchalantly. They were let out by Tovrik. Ironically, I can't seem to find Tovrik at the moment, but I'm sure he's around here somewhere. The rest of the guards are looking for him. No doubt he's off having a good, with his wife. But either way, as I said, Toll said he saw them set the fire, walk back out. We know what the three of them did. They did their best to help put out the fires. I'm being told by Tadpole that they had nothing to do with starting the fires. That it was likely the three of them instead that helped us, or that started the fire in order to steal Miss Potter's dragon eggs. We do have the dragon eggs missing. She should be here shortly. Again, honestly, I'm not quite sure where she is right now. It's a little bit odd. Why don't you go and search for her real quick? And he points to one of the guards, and he goes off. and our hidden area becomes more hidden.
Out of character, two things. One, holy shit, they totally killed 2 people. 2, what happened with Tadpole's attempt to have someone accuse them? Did that come through yet? Is someone running in?
Has not come through yet. But is likely about to come through very shortly. And supposedly, one of them has given me an amulet that should help me detect the thoughts of some of the people. He takes it and he tosses it over to Alas. Alas, take a look at this. Tell me what you can think of it before I use anything. I'm not an idiot. I'm not using anything some prisoner gives me right off the bat without checking it out. And Alas sort of scowls and goes, right, and starts sort of peering over it.
Don't use the charge. There's only one left, and I can't charge it until morning.
You only use it once, shouldn't there be 2? It's been a day.
It only charges 1d3 charges. It doesn't charge to full every night.
Oh, you roll
It's
a 1?
1d3, and it has 3 charges.
I'm back.
Well, welcome.
Did we all die?
Not
Yes.
yet.
Still early in the day.
It's still fairly early in the day. As it stands, those are the accusations against both parties. Now, I have not heard what you have to say about this. And he turns over to Tall. Could it be that you were mistaken in seeing these group of 5 people leave the city yesterday? Well, no, sir. I mean, it was clear as day. I not only did I see them start the fire, but they walked out shortly after stealing the dragon eggs, of course, and then walked right out the back gates, just sure enough, right as rain. They were going out with some of the sheep, I'm sure. You can get the story from Tovrik. I know he was on gate watch at the time, and I certainly saw it happen. Yes. Well, as I mentioned, Tovrik happens to be absent for the while. So, you lot, and he thumbs over to you. What's your defense in all of this?
I'd like to note, and I want to not ruin Mrs. Potter's dreams of having her museum of antiquities. The eggs she had were Kuthrik eggs. So if they have gone missing, wherever they are, you got some hatched Kuthrik eggs. They're nice to look at. They're not really that worthwhile money-wise.
Alas jumps up when you mention the Kuthrik. What?
There's an infestation upstream of here. We were heading here to tell you all about it, but we got arrested for starting a fight.
How many?
Oh, well, Miss Potter found the eggs near the surface. We're guessing pretty many if they're that stretched out.
We have the head back at the camp, if I recall.
You have I thought you brought that with you. That was the whole point, but, mistakes aside, the egg we bought from her, which we paid for, because we didn't want it to hatch in her shop, and she's imaginative, to say the least. So we paid for the egg, and we helped invest in her dream to make an antiquities shop to retire into, which I think is a wonderful idea, personally. But the egg hatched in her camp, we killed it, and I believe the kobold ate it, at least part of it. From what we gather from what Mrs. Potter says, she found the egg clutch near the surface under the mud, which is very unusual. Those vast subterranean creatures, I believe. If they're that far near the surface, they probably have been there setting up a large hive. And she said she found tunnels nearby, I want to say. They're probably overextended. On that note, we did dig some tunnels up near our camp. You know where that is, alas. Just north of our camp, there were a lot of large tunnels that, at the time, seemed abandoned when we dug into them. saying if you have Kuthik tunnels all the way out there and you have nests upstream from here, it's probably a very worrisome infestation.
This is bad. This is very bad. This is something we're going to need to take care of.
Because why we showed back up on that note?
Yesterday. Yeah, I'll be back. I've got to go make some preparations. You all continue. And he goes off.
Before he leaves, is the amulet okay to use?
We still need the amulet.
Right. He takes it and he goes back and he tosses it to Eckhart. And he goes, "It doesn't seem to be anything off with it. My identification is not the best as it could be, but it seems to do as advertised. It reads the surface thoughts of an individual that you focus on." And they sort of perk up at that. Right, but right now I have to go make preparations.
What's his god's name again?
The guard's name? You don't actually know.
The gods. His gods.
The gods. His god's name is Tokrin.
I shout after him, may Tokrin guide you.
Indeed, as he does. Eckhart. Well, that's very interesting. So, if you were not here last night setting these fires, where were you?
We were in a caravan, as we just bought several gallons of alcohol, having a nice time before the Kuthik hatched and started squealing everywhere.
About the time that you say that, a small kobold bursts through the curtains and just shouts, It's true! It's true! I've been there! I saw them last night! Every night is like that! It's amazing! Every night's a party, practically! This would be someone you recognize, Tadpole.
Okay.
He is a kobold who just happens to go by Higher. And he is most definitely a thief. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He happens to be a known thief, but, you know, he's come out.
I mean, shit. I'm happy to pay for this one. This guy's...
It's true. Like I said, every night's a party, practically. You've heard all the rumors from all of us who scouted them out. It's booze as much as you can see, food mound up higher than your eyes, and they were there. I saw them last night. Yes.
I saw you sneak away some of the good stuff, mate. So as you sit up this early.
Oh yes, well, I can certainly hold my liquor. He sort of pats himself on the chest proudly.
Anyone's welcome to join the party. It's a welcoming place.
They certainly welcomed me, that's for sure. We both had a really good time, and I put my arm around the other kobold.
Excuse me,
Really
one
good
moment.
time.
Phone again.
Damn that phone. You must slay the evil phone demons.
Hello? Hello? Yes? More junk calls. You ever notice how when you're expecting a call, it's always just junk?
Mhm.
Oh, totally.
And then every other time, it's nothing. No one even.
Yeah, like it's an important call, and of course everybody else is calling. Let's see. Higher is corroborating the story, and he goes, and now where were you last night when this alleged fire was going on? And they sort of look at each other for a moment. Orion, Toll, and Silly. And then Silly speaks up. Well,
their names aren't there anymore. Two of them, they don't have names again. All three of them don't have.
Sorry.
Okay.
Again, that's a thing that I forget every time. I mean, it seems like it reverts every single time as well. Better?
Yep.
Do all the townsfolk have names, or at least?
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
What about Eckert and Elia?
Yep.
Okay. But Silly speaks up and goes, well, I, of course, was here practicing some of my singing, of course, but Toll says that he saw the rest of them burning down the potters. Eckhart gets a look on his face and goes, yes, and what were you doing around at the Potters at that time of night anyways? And Silly starts to speak up again. Well, he was there. I'd like to hear it from Eckhart, if you don't mind. Excuse me, from Toll, if you don't mind. Toll clears his throat and rubs it a little bit. Clearly stalling. Well, we were doing what you paid us for. We were out. We were patrolling the town. I was out patrolling the town. Silly, of course, was at the here at the inn, but we were looking for the undead. It's exactly what you've paid us for, and what we've been doing most nights.
The mayor's here on that note.
The mayor is here.
The mayor's Peter. Who's the mayor?
No, the mayor is Jan.
Excuse me, Sir Campbell. I could have swore, if you don't mind me interjecting, I thought you hired them to deal with the kobold issue of North and stuff like that, not to do the guard's job around the city.
Well, yes, that's true, but I mean, who would we be to neglect someone in need? I mean, surely you aren't paying us to ignore people, wanton criminals such as this, setting fires to sections of the city.
So he's accusing the city guard of being incompetent.
Well, no, I'm not saying that they're
sounds that way to me.
incompetent. It's just that
they just can't do their jobs in your eyes. I understand. You think you're better than they are.
we were hired for a reason. It's not no accident.
To kill kobolds like me.
Well, that's not but
you disgust me.
the problems with the kobolds have been, you understand.
Racist.
I'm not. Look, I saw them lighting that fire, and it's up to you to believe me. Torvik said the same thing. As soon as he gets here, you know that he's going to say the same story, and Atel Potter, she saw the same thing as well. And as soon as she gets here, I am 100% positive she will corroborate the story with us, and we will be fine and set to go, and you can go ahead and arrest these people who are coming into the city and defaming our good name. You know what we've done good for this city.
Hey, Tadpole, didn't you say there were lazy louts who spent all their days drinking?
Yeah, I think we could probably
Janeon
find
starts giggling too.
in the other room dozens upon dozens of people who probably would say otherwise. They are very efficient at drinking, but not very efficient about doing anything else.
As opposed to us who are wealthy merchants who have lots of goods to trade with the city and just dropped 100 gold yesterday alone. We've come to warn you all about a horrible acoustic infestation that has alas worried head over heels about.
Peter starts
like
nodding
with
in
it
agreement
ourselves.
with your words when you're saying that the other adventurers have been just sort of lazing about the tavern for the most part. And sorry, you can go ahead, Janeon.
Just saying. And we planned on likely at least looking at the Kulthrix and the Kobold infestations and seeing what we can do. And that's just because we're in the area and our caravan's got to move through itself.
Right. Look, the thing is, and at this time, the guard, that who was the one who was rather sheepishly caught playing with your weapons, as it were, comes in. And he nods Eckhart over. And they begin a very fierce and whispered conversation.
I do a perception check.
You can.
Perception. Where are you? Where the hell is perception? What does the owl have? Hearing and sight. I should just use the owl for everything. The owl hears all.
You get the gist that Tovik has died in the fire somehow. He was in a building. It looked like part of it collapsed on him, and he could not get out and burnt to death.
Look, that surprises nobody.
Let's see. We've got at least one witness to corroborate our story, and they've got none.
We don't know that he's dead yet, but yeah.
And the moment you say that, the curtains fly back again, and a person whom you also recognize as being a thief, named Ariat. And can you all see his name? Fantastic.
Yep, he's good.
Yep.
Comes through and says, "You have two witnesses, because I saw Toll setting the fire himself." And at this point, Hire just gasps. The scoundrel. Eckhart sort of pinches the bridge of his nose. "And what were you doing there last night, Ariat?" And he looks floundering for a moment and then glances towards you, Tadpole. And in Thieves' Cant, a silent version of it, sort of a sign language, asks you how much.
30.
He says, "Well, you know me. He sort of scratches his beard stubbly chin, casing the joint to rob it." And Eckart's eyes sort of go wide for a moment.
An honest thief. Wow.
And then he nods his head. "That does sound a lot like you."
Yeah, sorry to break it to you, mate. They aren't actually dragon eggs. Sorry to burst your bubble.
"All right, you." And at this point, he picks up Toll from his seat there on the counter and asks, "Did you set that fire?" And Janeon, you see that he activates the medallion that you gave him at the same time that he asks the question. "Well, no, of course not. It was obviously them who did it." And Eckhart slaps down Toll, pushes him down over the sort of bar stools and whatnot, and shouts, "Guards, seize them!" And they go and do the bidding. They pretty much instantly leave you and go grab them. And they're sort of being none too rough about it. Excuse me, none too gentle about it, being quite rough about it.
If I may, Shira, I have one question for the man, because this all seems too convenient. What did you do to, what's the guard's name?
The guard's name?
The one that's dead.
Tovik.
What did you do to Tovik and Mrs. Patterson?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I look at the sheriff.
Janeon, how long does the medallion's effect work?
I'm just.
It's just like a minute.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It's like a full
duration.
minute though. It's not like just an instant thing.
Yeah.
No, it's a duration thing.
Okay. Oh man, it started raining pretty heavily in my house.
I'm sorry, I cast the spell too many times.
That's good. It's been months since we have had rain, it feels like. But it means I'm going to have to mow my lawn.
You know, I know what that's like. We haven't had rain for a couple of months, and then it's just turned into storms as we've hit winter.
A lot of heat rain, a lot of heat thunderstorms here in New York, that is.
Alright, but a minute or so thereabouts is what we're thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a minute. I don't have the actual duration on that.
Okay. Regardless, I think it would have expired in the time between they start manhandling and you actually ask that question, though.
Make an insight check, then.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
Yeah, concentration up to 1 minute.
Oh, yeah. You know, he's flustered right now. He's in the middle of getting smacked around. He's not really doing a great job of lying. Your best bet is that he certainly had a part in the disappearance of Tovik at the very least.
Well, let me just take a gander here, if you don't mind. You made up some witnesses, you paid them off because you want to get those dragon eggs you thought you could make a fortune of, because that's all you were talking about last night. So you think, you got the money to spare, you've been wasting it drinking. This is a gold rush. This is one of how much good dragon eggs sold. But you burned down the town, you probably killed 2 people just so you could get some worthless insect eggs. How does that make you feel? And that's a persuasion check.
And now that our word actually counts for something a bit more, I actually used my amulet against shoes last night when we were here, and I'm pretty sure you guys were talking about heisting them yourselves.
I'm trying to trip up Toll with the insight and the persuasion check, and I think Janeon's helping me with to make him lose his shit. Literally and figuratively.
At this point, while he tripped himself up a little bit, he has sort of realized that Eckert has something that can read his thoughts, so he would pretty much shut up in the hopes that it's basically based on what he's saying.
Oh, don't worry, friend. The medallion goes regardless if you're talking or not.
They're sort of shouting curses and whatnot at you, and Elia and the 2 guards go to carry the 3 of them away.
Rick's just gonna be like, could since we're sort of clear now, could I get my weapons back? I don't really, after already hearing one of the guards play with them, I don't really want more.
Well, one of them is enchanted. That one should be fine, I'm sure.
Eckhart comes to, his hands sort of spread wide. He goes, I apologize for this, of course. Come with me back to the guardhouse and we'll get your weapons. You understand that we couldn't be too careful. Arson is not a thing that happens in our city very often and tends to be a bit of a threat.
So it's no problem at all.
No,
We
no, I
understand
understand.
completely. Right?
Fair enough.
In
Kind
fact,
of motion at my medallion in his hands.
Oh, yes. Thank you. It was a big help.
I'm sure our
Thank you.
caravan leader would give you some wonderful sales and special deals for the tragedy that has happened. And to also, ease any tensions that may exist.
Right.
We're just passing by. We want to leave probably a good trading, at least for future. I point to the tavern owner and give him like a kind of a glance.
We'll certainly think about that, but if you don't mind, I've got a lot on my plate right now. Let's get you your equipment, and we'll get these things sort of sorted in a moment.
To be clear, I offered them discounts, not the other way around, just to make sure.
Oh, gotcha. I did hear it the other way around.
It's a tragedy. We'll give you some discounts when we come to trade. We probably have some things to help out. Or at least some of the more luxury goods might make you feel a bit better, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So all your funds burned down. Have some nice blankets.
Have some blankets. So you head back to. Gosh, the guardhouse, and you manage to grab your weapons, and it's no worse for the wear. For the most
What
part.
was that? I didn't hear most of that.
Sorry. You make your way back to the guardhouse, and you retrieve your weapons and armor and all that, and it's no worse for the wear, for the most part.
I really didn't expect them to be. I just wanted to make a point of they were playing with our weapons.
I mean, I've got a silver boomerang, like, be tarnished. It's silver, man, not silver plated. Silver plated doesn't work.
Like, of course they're gonna think our weapons are cool. Our weapons.
Yeah.
To be fair, your weapons are pretty cool. So you grab your stuff. Where are you heading to now that you grabbed your stuff? Nobody seems to be paying particular attention to you, to be frank.
Did you
I
still
think
want
we
to
need
go
to
to the
catch up with
library?
Alas,
Yeah.
and see what he's planning on doing with the bugs, because I think we need to go deal with them at some.
You meet Alas very close to the temple, because I imagine you sort of made a beeline straight for the temple, and it looks like he is making a beeline straight for you.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
I
wave
don't
him
know what his
down
token is,
and
regardless.
get him over. I'm sure he can just be assumed as with the party on Zusha's token.
No, of course. You said you all saw the Kuthrik, and you can confirm it, yes?
Yes, the head is back at our camp.
Right. That means there's very little time to waste. I need you, please, to go and scout it out. See if you see any of the Kuthrik above on the surface. That's the important thing. Do not head into the tunnels under any circumstances. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
Good. If they are heading on this surface, stay far away from them. They have this ability to see where you are from far away without actually seeing you. I don't know how it works, but this is of the utmost importance. If they do see you, and likely they will, do your best to run from a group more than 8 or so. Again, I cannot stress to you how dangerous these things are, but they will try to find you. They will try to kill you if they see you. but I need to know how many they are and if they've started to come to the surface.
Okay. Well, we'll go to the livery and acquire some horses so we can get there faster. Of course, we'll do it on the city tab, and then we'll be off.
Yes. No problems.
I know this is...
At this point, with eggs being found on the surface, it is safer to assume that they have come to the surface for this point. Prepare for that, and we'll tell you if otherwise when we get.
Indeed.
And I know this isn't the urgent point moment, but if you handle the things such as this, Tokrik the guard and Miss Pyros seem to have been harmed or worse by those adventurers. You may want to prepare a small service for them.
There's no time for that now.
I know, but later.
Okay, let's go to the livery.
Okay.
So thinking about getting the random guard a proper burial.
I'm not a necromancer. What are you talking about?
Give me 1 second. I have to use the
Not for too
restroom
long,
again.
Nichols.
30 seconds tops.
30 seconds, get the timer going.
Fastest bladder in the east.
So who was already to get eaten alive by rabid, hive-minded insects?
I mean, let's just hope they don't have acid blood. That'd be too cool.
Adding Kuthric, not seen them all.
So very sorry.
Did you kill the goblin?
What? All right, so we are looking back at...
Don't kill the goblin. You won't like my next character.
the overworld map, and we are about right here. We believe, judging on our directions from the other day by Miss Potter, that the location she found was about yay far away. Which is, it's a good 6 miles away. We, without much trouble, have procured horses or mules, depending on the size of you.
I mean, I can still ride. I can still ride big animals.
Giant weasel.
They wouldn't have anything quite so exotic as that.
If it's got a cart or something like that,
Yeah.
especially.
For the sake of stats and stuff, and then are they draft horses? Are they riding horses?
They would just be draft horses. They would be, things that they use for the farms.
Okay. They have hit points.
Okay, so I assume I can meet the two thieves there at the livery?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to pay them off. I will tell my party that I had to bribe our witnesses, and I hope to get a little recompense from the group.
Yeah.
I asked him how much Tadpole, how much are you bribing them to pay?
I had to pay them 80 gold.
On top of that,
I'll track you another 40 to give them some extra, just
Tadpole.
because they done that.
Yes.
Tell you what.
Yes.
Back in our city, I know of this person who you would love to meet. They run this little museum/antiquities thing. The wonderful people. They don't like to publicize it, but they are a silver dragon. I can introduce you if you want.
In lieu of payment?
Yeah, as part of your sacrifice, I can introduce you to an actual dragon.
I would love that very much. So go ahead and give me the gold now, and I'll reimburse you once that is made.
Sure.
So how much does each person give me?
I've given you 4.
Mark your ticket. Mark your ticket, Rick. Put your ticket.
I'm slipping the human thief, the second one that came in.
Uh-huh.
I'm slipping him another 20 himself, because that was an epic gamer moment when he just rocks in and he's like, I was casing the joint myself and I saw this fucker.
Starting it down before I could rob it.
Yeah. Can I make a point of tell them to give a bigger portion to the...
Well, no, because they were set different deals themselves anyway between the two thieves.
Yeah.
I was just saying about my money.
Tadpole will likely be keeping that money, I would assume, to reimburse their 40.
I
Or 80.
don't even mind.
Alright, so how much are you giving him altogether?
Okay, well, I paid 50 gold to both, or 20 to one, 30 to the other.
Mm-hmm.
But I told the group I paid 80.
And then I gave him 40.
Does anybody else give me anything? If not, that's fine.
I'll chuck you another 20 because I gave 20 to the thief.
Okay, cool. So I made 10 gold off the deal.
Yeah, make a rain check to get that back when I introduce it to the
All
dragon.
right, cool. I got 10 extra gold. We're good.
Oh, cool.
All
And
right.
I got a pony. Woohoo!
Yay.
So my next question is that as we are going to where this site is, how are we traveling? Are we going all out speed? Are we attempting to be stealthy? Are we going cautiously? Are we going at a normal daily trot? How are we going about this?
I'd guess probably the normal daily trot because it's still faster than us on foot. But I was gonna ask, can Corks carry a scroll or something like that to take a message to camp and to check on camp?
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking that might be an idea. Plus, if there's anything on the surface along that path.
Yeah, that's not an issue.
Yeah, but that's more of a call if Adrian wants to give up his familiar for probably 4-ish hours. So at least until we get to the spot.
Likely the duration. It's only 6, miles away. Horses,
Yeah, I'll send the owl out just with the scroll to check up.
And,
They're looking for 60 feet. They'll be dashed, probably doing a fast pace, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
I think familiars can get exhausted because they're, in this case, demonic.
What sort of message are you writing?
Warn City, moving north to check out acoustic hives. They might be on the surface now. Be careful.
And that we may not be back for a night or two.
That too.
Just in case.
Okay. So we are pretty much traveling at our normal going on. We're not taking any extra effort to be stealthy or anything like that. Correct?
It's almost impossible to be stealthy with horses, so.
It's generally. So as you are traveling, you notice that there are a lot of these tunnels that you've seen before. You, of course, don't see them as the tunnels, but you see them as sort of like the molehills. You notice them about the point right here, which is about 5 or so miles away from the city. They're not super frequent, as in you're about to fall through a hole every step, but you can see that they are starting to be noticeable. They don't appear to be following any sort of I'm going to say plan. There's all sorts of things crisscrossing one another. If you had to guess, they're not There's no elegance to it, I suppose. It doesn't look like they're trying to get anywhere specifically. It looks like they just happen to be here. Those are not like a big tunnel. Each separate line is a tunnel itself.
Should I collapse them?
As we probably no point. There's too many of them, and we're they've probably just come out of the ground anyway, and make new tunnels when they're attacking everything. But as we start seeing more and more tunnels, I'm gonna pull out my iron boomerang and ready a banishing boomerang in case anything attacks.
Okay.
And just have that so preemptively in case anything jumps out.
All right. Nothing appears to jump out. You get very close to the site, and I would like for you all to roll me a perception check.
Okay. I'm doing this at disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not too bad.
Still not bad.
I see everything.
Pretty
My
much.
thing's lagging. Hold on. I might see everything too. There we go. It opened. I don't see anything.
You don't see anything. You're pretty much in view of the area where they were. You see what happens to be a mound of clay set up, and you can see a spot sort of behind it where the clay is being dug up directly from the soil. You also see that the mounds are crisscrossing the area, just like before. Oh man, that's weird.
Is there anything interesting about the clay mounds? Do they look like big formations, mate?
No, you're not super close to them at the moment. This is just something that you can see that they exist right now. But you do pretty much see the mounds themselves. Excuse me, the tunnel mounds.
What time of day is it?
It is midday at this point.
Okay, so you travel pretty fast then. Okay.
I mean, 6 miles. I'm not exactly the fittest guy, and I can walk that pretty quickly.
So there's one hole, actual hole that we...
Whoops. Correct. This right here is the actual hole. Guessing that's where the clay was actually being dug from, and it was being mounded up into this pile right here. Other than that, there are these small sort of mounds pretty much everywhere. You would have had explained to you that it's believed that these are tunnels from the Kutheric.
I didn't see someone else had already summoned guts.
Yeah, I threw guts on. And you can all move your tokens onto the map as well.
Is there any trees or anything?
No, this is mostly grassland at this point. It should be noted that you are not seeing any of the ever-present rabbits.
But I lead my horse, donkey, to the river and try and find a big enough rock or something to tie its reins to, just so it's secure-ish.
Yeah, you could stake it down and make a makeshift hitch, no problem.
Yeah.
And I suppose I will grab some tokens for horses.
Zush isn't with us.
Yeah, that was me. I totally got like 2 different wrong people before I got.
It's okay, I got rid of her.
Well, if you'd like, I do much better below ground. I can kind of go and take a look, see?
Yeah, I do pretty well underground too.
I'm the only one that can dig that.
We
How
did get
about
told that
we don't
underground's a
dig?
bad idea.
And I'm assuming that pretty much everyone is dismounting at this point.
Yeah.
Is the hole like a downwards tunnel or more of a sloped off?
The hole itself is a
Upwards.
downwards tunnel. It looked like there happens to be a particularly strong presence of clay, and that your guess, or your best guess, is that Atel was, digging out the clay, mounding it up when she found the eggs. Looking in the hole, you do not see any evidence of eggs or anything else, but you do see the tunnel extends in two different directions.
How deep is it, and is it meant to overlap with the river? Like, is the river pouring into
It
it or
is.
something?
The river is starting to go into the hole some. It is not at this point like gushing in, but there is definitely water in the holes. And the hole, if you take a look into there, is definitely damp because, it's mostly clay at this point. Clay doesn't...
Hey, Tadpole.
Whatchamacallit?
The clay isn't settled or whatever, but Tadpole. Do the crew think you're the resident expert? Do they like water? Like if we just diverted the river this
Do
way?
they need to breathe?
I tell me.
Well, again, just to reiterate,
no.
though, it's not exactly flooding these tunnels, but it is, a couple
What if
inches
it
deep in them.
was?
Oh yeah, but we got a mage who can move dirt and everything as a cantrip, who can just open up the hole. And
Fair enough.
direct
They would need to
fire.
breathe. They are, living creatures, although...
All
I
right.
just
Well,
start cackling as you tell me this, and I start digging the river to
Drown
make a
'em.
new
Are we
tribute.
drowning him out? I think we should.
that's an excellent idea.
Okay.
It'll at least give us numbers when they come running out. Just
Yeah,
we
I
should
want to get
probably
the
get
horses
ready to
ready.
move. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to stand back then.
So someone...
Sorry, Guts. You didn't even get to see the end of our party.
Someone ping me where they are moving the horses to.
Is
I
it map
would
to
probably-
scale
That
or?
way we move them over here.
Oh, down there. Any of the edges.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah.
Are
Anyway.
you... My next question is, are you just digging out a channel? Are you pulling up dirt to put into the river to try to build a channel? How's it going?
I'm going to be widening the hole a bit. I'm going to be making so it's like a funnel almost. Like there's more ground to stand on, so I can't get flooded out as easily as I. And then I'm going to be moving dirt on the ground by the river to make it a bit deeper, and then I'll be moving that to the side to kind of make a kind of just like a flood wall kind of around the hole and stuff, just on the edge there. Just be careful with it. I can move 5 feet per flick of my hand, so it's pretty quick to do kind of thing. And then I'm gonna be opening up probably about 10 plus maybe 15 feet wide, trying to just submerge the hole in the river water. And I'm probably gonna be making a little bit not complete, a little bit of a dam, just to make the water a bit more tight, so it goes that way more, but it still flows to the city. So I'm just kind of reinforcing stuff and opening a channel while also making it a bit more tight, so just you know what I mean, I'm not sure the best. I'm not good at describing. Let me draw it. So let's say this is the hole, right?
Uh-huh.
So I want to reinforce around here, make a funnel. I'm gonna make a little buff right here, I'm gonna raise the dirt here a bit, so it just so it wants to go this way, but it still flows down, kind of thing. I might be raising the dirt, but it's not gonna be a dam. This is gonna be partially damned kind of thing.
Okay.
If that helps. But then so there's this. Oh god.
Oh.
What just happened? Okay, so at least we do that. There's this, which is going to be reinforced.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to be adding some dirt here to make a little speed bump for the water still flows, but it wants to go this way. Then this all here is getting change colors.
That's fine.
And then this all here is going to be God damn it, it's supposed to be. And this all. Why are you not red? And then I'm opening up the river straight into the hole.
Okay. You do this, and the river is decently deep. It's fairly wide. It's definitely not a stream, but it's not. Neither is it this raging river or anything like that. It sort of flows at a more leisurely pace. But what you're doing seems to be fairly effective. It appears like there's a lot of clay in the area, especially what's around the river itself. And pretty soon your tunnel starts filling up with water. And you wait around for 30 or so minutes, and then you start to hear some rumblings. And you can tell without very much trouble at all that there is a new tunnel coming towards you from right up towards the top right here. And whoops, that's not the right button. I didn't mean to draw a shape.
Is everyone standing where they're standing on that note?
Right now, yeah. I'm over by the horses.
And again, that one is coming towards you all. Janeon and Adrian, you would be able to see it without much difficulty at all. Everybody's pretty much standing around, looking around, so you happen to see this
Guys,
tunnel.
we've got movement coming in.
I wonder if it's coming like towards us. I wonder, because I built this up. I want to just open this up. If it tries to open anywhere near me, try to flood it out.
Right. Well, as you're doing, some sort of creature, presumably we all know what it is, pulls out of it. And there are several of them that pop out of this tunnel. It sort of opens up, widens very quickly. However they are digging, you're guessing it's more of a supernatural type digging than it is just a normal pushing things around. And several small creatures pop out.
I opened my gate then.
So you go to flood the rest of the tunnels? I don't understand.
So I built this up so that it was like kind of like there was kind of like a bed around it kind of thing. Like the ground around it's a few feet higher than when the hole was. So the water is kind of collecting there. I wanted to open 5 foot of that and have water start flowing out towards them just to make the ground a bit, if it doesn't outright flood, it just make the ground a bit muddy and stuff.
Okay.
You know, like they try to make difficult terrain if I can with the water.
Yes, because the things that travel subterranean and move quickly underground are going to be affected by hazardous terrain.
Well, I mean, they might not like that. Could be, I don't deal with mud as much as just hard stone and dirt. Mud is a bitch. Stick, goopy mud, you get use your traction in, it just sticks to you, or it just kind of like smothers you. It's not harder than dirt.
I am seeing them start bursting out.
Oh,
Take
fuck.
a couple of steps back. Yeah, and
Okay, we have 8, we should run
Guys.
now. Oh god, there's 9 of them.
So the ones in the back, right here, are these.
Uh-huh. We should keep a few.
The ones sort of in the middle-y, right here, are these. Very similar, but obviously more heavily armored. And finally, the ones that pulled out of the front are these, which are
Yay.
most definitely more armored. So they pop out of the ground is sort of a group, basically. And it becomes pretty obvious that they see you just about immediately. They start clicking, they start gnashing their mandibles together, all that sort of jank going on right on the front. And so what I'm going to ask us to do is roll initiative.
Roll initiative.
Please make sure to select your
Get to
token.
click your token.
Of course I didn't.
No, I think you are good.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I am. Damn, I'm better than I thought.
17
Boys,
points.
that's earned at level 5.
What is your initiative bonus?
Tadpole's initiative bonus is 4.9 apparently. They have typewriter enabled, I'm pretty sure.
Did I have to get a crit on initiative?
Yes, you did.
Initiative's not a bad one to get a crit on, though.
I suppose a crit on an initiative lasts for the entire battle. A crit on an attack only lasts for one attack.
Let's see. Ooh, those guys are actually fast for once. All right, but still not as fast as Janeon. It is your turn. These things have surfaced. They obviously have some sort of hostile intent from what they are doing and the things that you've heard about them.
I'm gonna start by making a quick roll. Yeah, I'm gonna move down here, and then I'm gonna save my action for if any of the bugs get within, I'll say, 10 feet of Adrian or Rick. I'll loose a vanishing boomerang at them with my iron boomerang.
Okay. It is this one's turn right here. I forgot to write down their speed. Okay. They have a speed of 40. So this one comes down towards you, Adrian, and it gives you a good old attack.
I scream and this chill back at it. That misses. Oh, I thought the Janeon was attacking me.
No, 21.
No,
No,
that hits.
For 9 slashing.
does
You broke up there.
12 hit them? Or that?
A 12 does not hit that one.
Oh, catch my boomerang.
All right. This one right here.
Anyone roll for guts?
I do not believe anyone rolled for guts.
I will be playing guts. I'm about to die.
Okay, go ahead and roll for guts.
Okay.
Number 8. There, she is moved where she is supposed to be. Okay, this one moves 40 to you, Adrian. Oh no, excuse me, this one moves 30 to you and attacks you, and since it is within 5 feet of another one, it gains advantage.
Hi, friend. That misses.
Okay, 13 misses. It is now this one's turn. It moves 40 over to here. I believe that was 40. Nope, one more. And it does nothing. It is now this one's turn. It moves towards you, Rick, and attacks you. I'm going to
Rick, save me.
assume you're right here.
I would be. I'm working on saving you.
That is a 17.
You have your armor back.
My AC is 17.
For 7. Tadpole, it is your turn.
Okay, I am going to shoot my bow at this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm more within range. And because he's standing next to a person, I should get, I think I get advantage because of my pack tactics, which makes it even because I'm in daylight.
Yes.
So I'm going to shoot my bow at that one.
Okay.
Nice.
That is definitely a hit. It is in fact bloodied.
All right. And I'm going to move back just a little bit. Stay as far away from these buggers as possible, at least at the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
To protect the horses, of course.
Of course. Rick, it is your turn.
Alright. This could be a bad plan, but it's all I can. Would I be able to rage, first of all?
Yeah, raging is bonus.
Rage is a bonus action. And then, would I be able to move up to the square above here?
Yes, you can do the shift 5, and that will not incur an opportunity attack.
And would I also, be able to grab Adrian and throw him back towards more of the party as possible, while also sort of throwing myself in the way to take any attacks of opportunity?
That's a much tougher one.
Just attack on my guy. I got it.
I would say that is not something you can really easily do. He's busy fighting him, fending off these things, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Be my shield.
Alright, so which one of the three around me looks the toughest?
These two right here.
I'm gonna take a swing at this closest one.
However, it should be noted that this one is almost dead.
Oh, I'll still attack this one here.
Okay.
I will. That would not hit.
That does not hit, I'm afraid. All right. Let's see. This one right here. Moves 40 down to here. It is its turn, and it is over to Adrian.
Okay, noping out, engaging nope.ex.
Alright. 30 feet to wherever.
Now, are you okay if I cast a cantrip with this as my main attack?
Yeah, that's just a bonus action.
People have issues with spells and bonus actions and stuff, blah blah.
No, I'm fine with.
So I can use any action spell then on that note?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I will save Rick. Hope they don't like fire.
Against which one?
Okay, the two that hit, I'm aiming for the weak one first.
Okay.
Which is,
obviously they
6
hit.
fire damage. Is it still up?
No, it is not. It is down.
Which one is dead now on that note?
That one right there.
Okay, I'm attacking the one that hit me then. Fuck you. For a 7. I'm gonna cry back to God saying they bit me, please help. Oh God, why?
AFK for a moment. I got a phone call.
Sure. I'm gonna mute you real quick too.
Mommy, they bit me, help. Oh, that's my turn.
All right, so it is this small one right here's turn. It's going to move to here, and it is going to attack you, Rick. Again, it has advantage on its attack.
It's a hit.
And it gets you for 2.
I'm raging, so it's 1.
Correct. Guts, it is your turn. Or whomever is controlling Guts.
Do you want me to do it or what? Who wants to do it?
No, you take it, Adrian. I'm pretty sure you've run her most of the time when she's been.
Okay.
I tend to run Zush.
Okay. We got see spells.
How do things like Dissident Whispers work with Hive Mind?
How does psychic damage work with Hive Mind is a wonderful question. On that note, she's gonna bonus action healing word because I'm fucked up. And I'm sure she would do that if I was, had a third of my health just taken away. 1d4 plus 4, so that's 8, 7. And then she's going to use Dissonant Whispers. I think she has the range at 60 feet, I want to say. Yeah.
Okay, you're unmuted.
60 feet, she's going to help Rick out. There's a few around him. She's going to Dissonant Whispers the bottom one.
Okay.
Which is this one. He needs to make a wisdom save.
The bottom one needs a wisdom save.
That fails.
That's a big old fail.
And it's forced to run away as a
Reaction attack.
what is it? Yeah, reaction. So Rick gets an opportunity attack.
It takes 10 damage though as well?
Takes 10 damage, uses its reaction.
That is enough to kill it.
Oh, I don't mind that. I wanted to run away. Oh well. And that's Guts' turn.
Alright. So it is this one's right here's turn. It burrows into the ground. And to show that, I will be using... Whoop. There's a grenade token, because it makes me laugh.
Oh no, it's got a grenade, guys. Stand back.
It's got nothing to do with what it actually does, but...
It's a suicide bomber. Oh god, why?
And then it will move somewhere. And you cannot see it, correct?
I don't even know which one we moved, honestly.
It would be the one that was right here.
No, it's not there.
Okay. Janeon, it is your turn. Wait, did this one go?
No, you didn't.
No.
Didn't do
This one does the same thing. I missed one. It burrows down, becomes a live grenade.
Oh god.
Goes on to the GM token or level.
I'm
And now it is your
going to. I'm gonna go around this to go there. I assume standing on the isn't a
It's
big
fine.
thing.
Yeah, not a big thing.
Yeah. And then I'm going to pair attack against this closest one and help.
Okay. 12 is a miss.
Yeah. And it's my turn.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Advantage doesn't matter.
This one right here is going to circle around and give you an attack, Janeon. Again, it has advantage.
Yep, that's a hit.
For 13. All right, this one right here is going to continue on down to Guts and attack at Guts. And that is the other adult.
Yeah.
It does not have advantage, so it likely misses.
Yeah, I'm sure that misses.
Whoops, something happened to one of my sheets.
That has 14 AC.
Oh, no wonder. Oh, okay. All right, this one right here is going to attack you as well, Janeon. I'm going to move that one on the other layer so we can see you. Again, with advantage.
Yeah.
For 6.
That's not so bad.
This one right here is going to move over and attack a Guts with advantage this time.
Oh god, no. Ooh.
For 8.
I mean, not that we need to worry about gut.
I think you broke off during half of that.
I was just saying, not that we really need to worry about guts. They just cleared it at the.
Fair.
Why don't we use guts as the tank?
That one is dead. Tadpole, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to run up to this spot right here. So both of these two are within 10 feet of me,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yes.
And I'm going to grovel, cower, and beg. Oh, you worms are so intimidating. Oh, no, I'm so scared. Now, that means everybody should have advantage against these two until the end of my next turn. And then I'm going to move back 10 feet. That should be the full movement for me. And I'm done.
Correct. Bitter will be up to you to remember that because we may forget.
Yeah, not a problem.
Rick, it is your turn.
Can I move up to and use a breath weapon on both of these without hitting Janeon?
Do you have your breath weapon stuff saved? I don't remember how far. I know it's a cone, but I don't remember. I think right there it would hit Janeon. Because it would be a cone that goes sort of out like this from you.
I'll just take another swing with my axe.
Okay. That's a big hit. It is not dead, however. It is bloodied. This one, right down here, is going to come over here and attack Janeon with advantage.
That. Davin. Not much damage though.
No. That one should have been a critical as well. So, but it'll be fine.
Should it have been? Attack bonus.
20, oh no, attack
+3,
bonus. I'm
so it
sorry.
would have rolled a 7.
You're correct. Adrian, your turn.
Okay.
Oh, I hate to say it. Back in a second.
And that's how I banished the DM to another plane of existence. Yep.
Damn, I forgot to use my sneak attack. Oh well.
Oh, yeah, that would have been nice, actually.
Yeah. I'm not used to playing a rogue, so.
All right, I'm back.
Notice, the 2 that burrowed meant to be gone from the turn.
They are not
that-
gone from the turn order. They
It's
are
not
just
GM
hidden
rules.
from you.
Ah,
On
okay.
the GM layer, you can't see the initiative either. They're basically invisible. It also helps if you're playing surprise ambush with players and you can't see the initiative. All of a sudden, there's just 20 people attacking you, you know? So I'd be like 50 more Kuthvek just in the turn order, just skipping through, you know?
What?
What, you think we're only fighting these ones?
Adrian, it's your turn.
Right, Firebolto.
Which one?
The one right in front of me. Right.
Okay.
Okay, you have
Beautiful.
advantage on that, by the way.
4
good.
beautiful damage. That was totally useful.
Pew pew. Guts, it is your turn.
Guts is going to guts it up. Guts is going to be a guts and do a thunder wave.
All right.
Level 2.
Let's see. Constitution. Okay, so first for the one on the left. Bam. Which makes
Succeed.
it. And then the one on the right.
That one fails.
Okay.
First, you take that's a bad sad roll. The one that fails takes 8 damage, is pushed away. The other one takes 4 damage and stays there. Now, would Guts get an opportunity attack from that?
No, because it's pushed away. It's not
Making
moving away.
Once pushed away, then. And that's her turn.
All right. So there is a hidden one right over here that surfaces right beside you, Janeon, and attacks you. With, of course, advantage. 18? You broke up.
It's a mess.
Okay.
No, it's not.
The other one.
Is the other one staying submerged for now?
The other one is staying submerged for now.
Alright. I'm going to use my bonus action to disengage,
All right.
and then I'm going to pull back to there and dropping my rapier and pulling out a boomerang. I will the one that just
Yep.
came back up.
Not only does that hit it, it kills it.
Not with the dueling style damage.
Oh,
Remember,
not
it's
with the
only
dueling style damage? It still kills it. Alright, but you have dropped your rapier right on that square.
Yeah. And you know, that'll be my...
Alright, so this one right here, it moves over and attacks Rick. For 4. This one right in front of Guts attacks Guts without advantage. Misses.
Oh.
This one right up here attacks Rick with advantage.
You guys doing okay up there?
So
I can't remember.
5.
Can you use an action to use a feature that can only be used usually with bonus, like Second Wind?
I'm okay with that. All right. This one right here. 1, 2. No, it would go after Guts to get the advantage. And attacks Guts with advantage.
Oh no.
For 6.
Okay.
Tadpole, it is your turn.
Okay. Are either one of these two in front of Guts damaged?
They both are.
They both are. This one severely damaged, bloodied in fact. The other one lightly damaged.
Okay. I will attack. I'm going to shoot the one that is next to Guts.
Mm-hmm.
Da-da. Okay. Well, I guess I like 10s.
10 does not hit.
Okay. Then I'm going to back up a little bit.
All right. Rick, it is your turn.
At this point, I'm pretty sure there'd be no way for me to hit all 3 of them with my breath weapon without having to move and take an attack of opportunity. Ooh. Would I be... If I move north, would I take one?
Yes, if you move basically if you move in any square, you can get all 3.
Yeah, but do I take an attack for that?
Oh,
For
do you
moving
take
north?
an attack? No, you don't take an attack of opportunity for that.
Alright, so I'll move north and then try and hit all 3 of them.
All right.
Okay. Where's my roll thing? Probably wouldn't have the rage damage, but it's a dex saving throw.
It's a flat save. Okay, let's go with the top one first.
That's a save.
Let us go with the middle one second. That is a fail, and it takes how much damage?
That would be 5.
5.
Fire.
Okay. And the bottom one, lastly.
And that's another save. But the ones that do save still take half damage, so is that 2?
Yes. He's no longer hidden, by the way.
And it's
All right. This one right here is actually dead. Adrian, is your turn.
Firebolt.
Against which one?
And more injured one, this one.
Okay. That's a hit. And it is dead. Guts, your turn.
So we'll proceed to stab it with the rapier. Ooh. Does she have advantage still?
It was till the end of your turn, right, Tadpole?
Oh yeah, but that was a turn ago.
Yes. Yeah, it ended.
4 damage,
Yeah.
Hanna. How's the poison work for that? Do you know? I'm looking for it.
It might not be saved on the sheet, but it is a DC 8 con save for 1d6 damage.
Oh, let's just go with that. I'm sure they'll make it. Oh, just so close.
Just barely.
That's it then.
All right. It is this one's turn. It will move on and continue to pile on Rick.
Pile on the Dragonborn.
With advantage. The round's down to 1. Okay, the invisible one piles on to Guts.
Oh
And
no.
it becomes not invisible. Gains advantage on its attack. For 6.
Guts, no.
And Janeon, it is your turn.
I'm going to use my bonus action to pick up my rapier,
Mm-hmm.
so I can still move with my form. Yeah, and then I'll move there and make a first attack against that one with my rapier.
The one directly north of you is nearly dead.
Yeah, I know that. Rick told me that.
Okay.
I've got another attack.
But you still want to attack this one? Well, that's definitely a hit.
Yeah.
And not only is it a hit,
How's
it
that
kills
one
it.
looking now? It's my action search to
And
select another attack.
that is a hit, and that one kills it as well. So both of those are dead. All right, it is now this one's turn. It will attack you twice. It does the normal claw that you've seen before. No advantage.
I don't think the advantage matters.
hits you for 6 after your rage. And then it brings out a hidden stinger out of sort of this sort of stumpy tail that you had not noticed before. And it attacks you with that as well.
Oh, that hits too.
Give me a Constitution save against DC 13, please. Okay, you take 6 damage total. 3 from the piercing, 3 from the poison.
It would be damage resistance.
Do you get
to poison,
resistance against poison?
It's hang on, I've got it somewhere. It's resistance to all except psychic.
Okay, well then it does a total of 4 damage to you.
Need help up there? Or are you good?
Okay, it is over to this one, which is going to attack Guts. Again, with advantage.
That misses.
Okay, that's a miss. This one is dead. It is over to Tadpole's turn.
Is drawing a sword in your game a free action or a bonus action?
That's a free action.
Okay.
Like, if you're pulling it out of its holster, that's, yeah, I don't
The sheath, yeah.
care
So
about
I'm
that.
going to go ahead
Sheath.
and I'm
whatever.
going to move forward, pull my sword, go right here, and do a Fury of Blows, attacking with my sword, and then 2 kicks.
Okay.
Okay, so short sword.
That's a hit.
Okay, good. I also forgot to do sneak attack last time.
Okay.
So there's sneak attack damage.
Okay.
And then my Fury of Blows, spending 1 key point, 2 kicks.
Well, the one hit.
That's fine.
And that, however, was enough to bring it down.
Okay, and then I have about 10 feet of movement left. I'm going to move back.
Rick, it is your turn.
I'm gonna swing my axe at this one that's still alive.
Sure. Yeah, that's a hit.
I'll just wait. I'll just wait here.
Okay, it is
Fine.
bloodied at this point. Adrian, your turn.
How injured is this one?
This one right in front of you?
Oh,
Barely.
okay. Magic missile, 10 damage.
All right. It is not quite bloodied, but close. Guts.
Thunder waving it.
Okay. And that is a con save.
Yep.
Which it makes.
5 damage. And then Guts will healing word self.
It is bloodied. Janeon.
I'm gonna use bonus action to pull my boomerang out of the corpse and then chuck it at that one that's attacked.
14 hits.
Yeah, and take off Jaw and stuff. Sorry, I leave that on for when I'm using the red.
No, it's fine. All right. So it is the one that Rick was fighting. It does its 2 things again. It is no longer getting advantage, but it claws you, and it spikes you.
That one does?
And again, DC 13 con save to resist the 1 point of poison. So you take 4 damage.
Well, I think not.
However, the poison only does pure damage.
But
This
at
one...
this point, I have finally become bloodied.
The one in front of Guts does the same thing, attacking with a claw.
Nope.
And attacking with a toxic spike. I do not believe Guts gets poisoned.
Pretty sure it's one of her class features.
Yeah. She does take 4 damage, however. And Tadpole, back around to you.
All right. Worked so well last time. Let's do it again.
Okay.
Go up here. Fury of Blows. Attack with my sword and then Fury of Blows. So, short sword. Booyah. Sneak
That's
attack. Booyah. 16 points. And then 2 kicks.
That
Man.
is enough to bring it down.
Look at that.
It is a furious flurry of blows indeed.
And I back away. To protect the horses.
I don't trust those corpses.
That's right.
Rick, it's your turn.
The good old tried and tested smack him with an axe.
Yeah. It's a hit.
Is that quite dropping?
Yes, but as it does 12 more.
That is enough to drop it.
Can I have tried not to have killed it and just knocked it out?
I'm gonna say no on that one because the last bit of your damage was the cold damage from the axe, and that's kind of hard to pull back.
Alright, no. I didn't think I'd get it. I was going out on a...
Sure.
Plus, a lot of weapons can be used in like a KO effect fashion, but axes can't tend to be used in a I'm gonna knock you out.
All right, so we have destroyed these things. We are out of combat right now, but what are we doing? And we need to be quick at this point, so I need quick decisions, quick answers, quick responses.
Are we talking about quick in-game or quick like
Both.
because you want to wrap it
Both.
up?
Put the pressure on.
Rick, grab a few corpses, put them on the horses. That's what
Well,
the corpses.
Yeah,
All of the corpses. Every corpse we can grab.
One of each.
if
At
we
least.
don't have time to butcher.
One of each kind.
we're taking them back as proof.
How big are the small ones?
Bring a big one though.
Even the small ones are like dog-sized. They scale up pretty quickly. Like the small ones are about pit bull-sized, which are called hatchlings. Although obviously that's sort of a misnomer.
I'm gonna run up and see if I can see any eggs coming from any of the holes that I can see.
You take a look in I assume the tunnels where they came out of, because you've already looked in the wind tunnels. And no, you certainly do not see any eggs or anything like that.
Okay.
I'll slap 2 of the small bodies onto my horse because I don't take up as much space.
Yeah, Rick, grab a big one.
Yeah, I'll grab like legitimately whatever.
Okay. Well, you notice you get about 3 or 4 of the corpses on, and this is pretty much assuming everyone is grabbing one.
And I make sure to grab my boomerang.
All right. So you've got several of the corpses on. We'll say Guts will probably grab the one there. Rick, you make it to the rest of the group. You sort of haphazardly throw them on to the horses, as I imagine you are pretty eager to get out of there. You manage to get on your horses, and as you guys are getting back on your horses, you see pretty much the exact same amount come bursting out of the same tunnel that there was before. That they first came to investigate you at. And what are you doing? I presume you're going to be fleeing. But
Yep.
you guys have surprised me before.
This time fleeing sounds like the
Yeah, kicking in the heels of the flanks of the horse.
Yeah,
Giddy
I'm
up.
about half health.
we definitely got enough information to know that there's enough.
Let's go.
If they try to
We
chase
have
us, I totally
numbers,
take
we have
pot
proof of-
shots.
Say that again, Adrian?
If they try to chase us, I'm taking pot shots at them.
They are definitely chasing you for some way. And we're talking a good, because we were actually here, about 3.5 miles. And as we get there, they're pretty fast. You know, their movement speed 40 or so. And so going out, they cover quite a bit of distance. They're pretty well evened up with the horses. I want you all to roll me a perception check, and I also want you to move your markers onto the map for how and sort of what sort of formation you would be in. Right around
Is Corks back yet?
this area right here. Corks would not be back just yet.
I didn't see the area. Oh, over
That's
there?
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, right over here. I'm sorry. It's not exactly where you are. It's just so I can get sort of a sense of what your location is. And we'll just say Guts is bringing up the rear. Let's see. Janeon,
Yes.
you see...
I'm not sure why I double rolled there.
Oh, you double rolled? No, it was regardless.
Apparently.
You got 20s. Okay, so Janeon and Tadpole, in the middle of your flat-out dash for the city with these things hot on your heels, you notice that there is a small figure in front of you on the way. Sort of...
My door. I gotta go. My
Sure. No worries. It's in front of you. It happens to be just absolutely decked out in the smallest, most well-crafted plate mail you've seen. It certainly looks goblin-sized, and you think, oh, that'd be nice, as you're sort of passing. But it's definitely in your path and in the path of the things chasing you.
Is it a living thing?
It certainly is. It looks like it's doing some fishing or something vaguely water-related.
Definitely get his attention. I'm going to... You shout goblin,
So,
I'll shout draconic.
Assuming it's off by the river, I'll split off. Whether it's a feeling of, oh, that might be a nice bit of armor to make a body disappear to acquire, or whether it's the nicer side of Janeon thinking, oh, can't leave this one to die to these things, I'll stop and basically not give him a choice, just like drag him on and kick off the corpses if I need to. And if any of the others try stopping, I'll just like wave them on to continue. I'm not spending too much time. If he resists, I'll either knock him out or just drag him behind the horse.
Okay, so you are slowing down to sort of grab this thing as you're on the run, correct?
Yeah.
I'm taking pot shots the entire time, giving covering fire. Pew, pew. I'm missing horribly. Pew.
Pew pew.
Can my
Honestly-
land vehicles come into play here at all? Maybe I've learned how to like balance and pick shit up across carts and stuff.
Honestly, how many are chasing us? Because they've been chasing us a while. I can probably have killed them all by now with my pot
The
shots.
same amount. There were about 9 that you could see easily on the surface.
How long have we been running for?
not long. I mean, you've been moving at a full gallop. You've
Okay.
done, just a few miles on down. Let me get, and this is going to be a combination of rolls from you.
Yep.
I'd like an animal handling first off.
Rough.
Little on the rough side.
Baseline.
Second of all, I think I'd like an acrobatics roll from you.
That one I can do.
No.
All right, and this is going to be resisted.
And can Guts give him a bardic inspiration, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Saving the Poor Man song. Dun, 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 dun. Very, very high-pitched, frantic country roads.
Very high pitched. What's your strength, Janeon?
My strength is not my highest stat. It's
What the
15.
Hell is bardic inspiration on this thing?
15 is not bad, though.
Can I use my dexterity against it? Because that's 18.
Probably not, because you are looking to manhandle this, for you, normal-sized
creature.
suit of plate mail.
Yeah, it's a human pulling a human on a horse.
Yeah. The good news is that I don't think it would rip you from the saddle.
Is this guy within 60 feet of all of us, or is it further away?
Yeah, he's probably within 60 feet, no problem.
Guts is going to use a reaction to cutting words his athletics check. The other guys. To
Okay,
help Janeon.
sure.
Which is a bardic inspiration. She has, what, 1d6? I can't find the bardic inspiration.
It just hit a 1d6.
To help him out, it's now a 16 instead of a 18.
Okay. You still don't pull him up, but again, neither do you get pulled out of the horse's saddle. But he's sort of left, or it is sort of left bemused and shouting in irate. The question is, do you stop to try to get him on there, or do you keep on? Before you did say you were going to try to
How
hurry
close?
through.
How close are they?
They're probably about 60 feet. Like, a couple seconds, really. They've been keeping up with you pretty well. They're nearly horse speed. Let's say, in the equivalent of D&D terms, it'd be about 2 rounds or so before they catch up with you.
I'd say just point back, shout, run like shit. I don't think you
Yeah.
know what the danger is.
No, I'll pull my reins back and stop and basically just say, look, you don't really have time. Get on the horse and let's get the fuck out of here.
Point behind you.
And I will throw a persuasion roll at that if needed. Because I assume he won't be able to see the things coming.
I'm going to
My
say
rolls-
that
My rolls have been
even...
trash.
Not even a flat roll. That with that going on, he looks around for a little bit, and he grabs onto you, and he goes up on you to your horse. But of course he doesn't say anything, and it's a bit of a struggle. He's, like I mentioned, equivalent style plate armor, and he's small, and you're small. And of course, you're on a full-sized horse, so it's not the easiest
Yeah,
thing.
it's like it's basically trying to climb a one-story building. for us.
Pretty much.
And that's how you capture the kobold at the end.
So
Yeah, is it another kobold?
hard to tell. Could very well be.
Is it like full plate mail with helmet and everything as well?
Yeah, it's fully decked out, and not only is that, but what it's wearing is the highest tip-top quality. It's all entirely enclosed and all that jank, and jazz.
I wonder if I can make him fall off my horse and break his neck when we get closer to town. But for now, let's get him on this horse and at least try and...
So
Okay, we're trying to mug the guy we tried to save.
it's quite the
I risked my
daring.
life to mug you.
I risked my life to mug you. I saved you. You owe me everything by law. But yeah, you managed to pull him on there. You guys are still running. They follow you about another 2 miles or so. So it's a 4-hour sort of chase at all. Somewhat tense.
Phew. God damn.
Adrian constantly firing back with the light crossbow, hitting some, missing some, picking off some of the smaller ones, because we've seen that they're fairly weak at this point, at least the small ones. Until they finally sort of just stop, almost like they hit a line. They burrow into the ground as soon as they stop, and you quickly, very quickly, lose sight of them. The one on your back, the back of your horse, excuse me, Janeon sort of pats you and goes, "What the hell was that about?"
Insect bug things. We may have annoyed them, but we also killed a few of them, as you can see.
You idiots. Why'd you go into their nest like that, practically?
Well, because we needed to find out how many there were, and apparently there's more than the first 8 or 9 weeks.
There's a lot. There's hundreds, likely. Don't you know how the Kutheric work?
Well, not myself. Our kobold friend over there knows a little bit about.
Ugh. Well, you've basically kicked a bee's nest now. You have to wait until they're so far away from the hive mind before you can attack them. Right now, you've tipped them off that you're here, they're here, and that now you know about them. Ugh. This is why amateurs are always a problem.
Want to come back with us and help us finish?
No. As a matter of fact, I don't. And with that, he sort of swings off the horse as it's mid, sort of gallop.
I kind of really want that armor, but at the same time, I kind of don't want to just straight up murder hobo someone just morally ambiguous.
He pretty much crashes off the back of the horse. You know, the horse is going fast. He's pretty small. He's going. He doesn't break his neck, but he's certainly cursing. Are you slowing down for him, or are you still going on? Yes, excuse me.
Well, if these things aren't chasing anymore, I'll stop and
the things are not
see if
chasing anymore.
Yeah, well then I'll stop and I'll check on him, see if he's at a stage where a quick dagger to the throat might put him down, or whether he just needs a hand up and patting.
Let me ask if anybody else stops as well. Tadpole, the thing you missed, there was a small goblin-sized individual in full plate mail. There was a somewhat daring action to pull him onto the horse as it was moving by Janeon, and berated you all, or him specifically, about alerting the creatures that you knew about their existence, said something about hating working about amateurs, and has basically jumped off the back of this moving horse.
And I really want that armor, but at the same time, I don't want to just straight murder hobo someone, but I really want that armor.
In 3 levels? Yeah, 3 levels, I can just make you some.
And so the question is, does everyone stop, or does only Janeon stop?
I'll slow down for him.
Yeah, we'll stop after saying.
Okay, well, he sort of stands up and dusts himself off. He does not particularly look worse for wear for falling off of a horse at, galloping speed, basically. He puts his hands on his hips and goes, What can I do for you? What do you all want?
Well, who are you?
Who am I?
Making sure you're okay for the most part.
Who just jumps off a horse like that?
Well, I do. I'm Iflo Pawu.
Is that the kobold?
It certainly was.
Oh.
Ah. Convenient. Sorry about this, Tadpole. I jump off my horse and draw my rapier.
So, friend, we've been kind of sent to look at the Kuthwick, but you're also kind of invading the city kind of thing. Yeah.
Pulls out his hammer, or excuse me, not hammer, but he pulls out a mace and pulls out a shield. The mace happens to be radiating some sort of light.
Okay, so why and how?
I make
how?
a playful poke at him.
A playful poke.
It's a playful poke. It's a playful poke. But Tadpole doesn't quite know it's. Oh no, they would, because they know that.
Yeah, well, he certainly attacks back, and you might see some of this. We're just gonna have to go with it.
There you go. Rip.
But presumably you do this sort of back and forth for a little while. Going by the rolls that have been rolled so far, it's really sort of a back and forth. You can't seem to penetrate his armor. He can't seem to actually hit you.
I'm just going to...
Question is, do other folks join in?
Yeah, I just cast Hold Person on this guy. Hope he feels
What
the
if
same.
Rick throws Janeon?
Wait, we've got Hold Person coming in.
What if Rick just throws Janeon his bone club? Would Janeon use that in the fight?
Probably not, actually, because he's just used to using his rapier and everything.
Alright, well, go ahead and cast your Hold Person. Because
Guys, come on, stop
I
fighting.
never remember if it's a wisdom or a con save.
Yeah, wisdom. Probably not working. He looks like a paladin, for fuck's sake. Guys, stop the fighting. I try to stop one of them. He barely makes it, a lucky bastard. Actually, hold on. Do I have a thing with my wand? No, he makes it.
So he's sort of cursing at you and whatnot at this point, and he's doing this backwards fighting, sort of back where you came from. He's not fast, of course, but he is attempting to get away from you rather than fight the 5 of you head on.
Let me see how sleep works then.
Tell you what, we'll give you a chance. Drop the armor and we'll let you...
Fuck off with that.
Fair enough. And I continue dueling him. If at any point he breaks out and gets too far away, either by using a disengage or however he would do it, if he gets far enough, I drop my rapier quickly, pull out a boomerang, and use grasping. So even if he keeps running, he'll just keep fucking himself up.
Okay. So there are 2 things we can do right now. We're approaching the end of our session. And frankly, this is a big fight that we have went and found ourselves in inadvertently. I think what I would like to do is hold it until next week and pick up immediately with that one, or we could just do a couple of rolls and sort of simulate the whole thing. That's not exactly fair either way, but it could wrap this thing up.
Yeah, well,
what I'd rather do is have the larger fight, personally, though.
Yeah, same. I mean, that's why I was thinking if we can find a way that we can, push back the big fight, and maybe if we manage to wrest the armor off him, it gives him an excuse to come hunt us later with his little pack of friends.
On a scale of 1 to 10, does he have more health than Rick?
He sure does.
Yeah, we should not maybe antagonize him.
Which is going to be, again, like I said, it's a long drawn out thing. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to just end the session here, and we will pick up next time pretty much with this fight.
Oh, okay. And then, we're lucky that he doesn't kill people.
Well. All right. Well, a good session, everyone. We made it through the fight better than I thought we would.
Better enough to get level 5? Yay!
Yeah,
Maybe.
probably not during in the middle of the stuff, but I definitely I pulled it back a little bit on you guys, but I still expected somebody to go down. Granting advantage is pretty serious.
Yeah.
Have you not learnt by now, Grim, that we managed to scrape through even when you don't think we will?
Just barely. I didn't even manage to knock down the wizard this time.
Just wait for it. We'll get to a certain level where you'll just have to throw something at us where it will be a factor of party wipe, or it'll just be too easy for us.
Oh, that's definitely not what I want to do.
Oh, no. No DM wants to wipe their party out, but we all like to see it happen again.
I mean, to be fair, that could have happened in this one. I mean, a couple more big rolls, and they did something like 2d8 damage or something, 2d10 maybe.
I'm just glad we're not in prison. That's all I can say.
Guys, you handled that terribly. I now know what the party weakness is, and that's government officials.
We are a morally ambiguous party. Of course, any kind of official capacity is a big problem.
You're right, I suppose, but man, when you started threatening the guards, I was like, oh. All right, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and end. Again, we're a group playing D&D. We play pretty much every Wednesday. We start at, what time is it? 11:30 a.m. EST every Wednesday. Come on and join us. Stop by, say hi, say some questions, ask some questions perhaps. And if you're watching this video later on, drop a comment, drop a like. I'd appreciate it. And I hope you all have a good day. So, peace out, everybody.
Good day, eh?
See you.